month has come and gone. That means it's time for everyone's favorite game show of what is Powell going to say in the press conference, because it's going to have nothing to do with what happens coming up here in about 15 minutes. We'll get no change on the interest rate itself. We'll get a whole bunch of questions about tariffs. We'll get a whole bunch of questions about what they've done to this point and what he sees as to come later in the year. If you go to the Fed funds tool, you're looking at May, possibly. Better chance in June of a quarter point cut. So we have a long ways to go before we get there. So a lot of people calling this a quote unquote dovish pause at this point. So we'll see how that comes through from the overall market. Speaking of, here's how the overall market is setting up going into this. We're almost back to this morning support here of the NASDAQ, obviously, for tech anyways, acting as resistance currently. We did get above it briefly. Coming back below, however, right now. So under 15 minutes to go here. If you're joining us for this for the first time, welcome in. This is what will happen coming up to 2 o'clock. We'll have a look at this data point right down here. There's the Fed interest rate decision. You can see no one anywhere expecting a change. So 4.5%, it will come out 4.5%. And then following that at 2:30 down here, we'll get the Fed press conference with Powell. And that should be a little more exciting, guys, for the overall market.
Yep, that's how it normally goes. I mean, when you don't know, when you know exactly what's going to happen with the Fed, then I care more about 2:30. Certainly, you can get that initial volume wick and trade off of this. Sometimes for the rubber band action, as I like to call it, like I look for a little bit of a mean revert type of situation. Like just a quick example. Like I'll say, like NVIDIA here. NVIDIA does a pop into resistance and maybe look for like a quick little short. If it bottoms out off like a 120 even, like maybe you look for just a quick revision. And then at 2:30, look for a little bit more of a directional play. Like my eyeballs are IWM, IBIT, NVIDIA, AMD. Those are the ones I want to trade. I mean, AMD's been a rocket ship today. I shorted a couple times. Thankfully, it's worked out, but it's been a rocket ship today, whereas NVIDIA's been tanking. And then Bitcoin is looking relatively solid here. You know, I'm going to be tracking IBIT as it's pretty much pushing these highs. I feel like if we get bullish, that's a place that I want to be. Maybe we get through some of yesterday's highs. It's been chilling out at this 103 area for quite some time. So you want to be looking at the right things is one way to look at it, but be focused on 2 or 3. Like where do you want to express the trade? Where do you like long? Where do you like short? But I don't want to be too wrapped up in anything but scalp trading until 2:30. When he hits the podium, when Powell hits the podium and is answering questions, that's when you get the trend. Last time it ended up being a downtrend. You know, if it was in the red, and it was definitely a downward trend after that 2:30.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It should be a fun and exciting Fed. That's because we're here. I don't know if the Fed's going to be that exciting, but we'll wait to see what happens. The only position we took on in the afternoon is when we got back, and we put this on right there, short on AMD. We had it at the top, covered it right here at basically 118 was like some of the best covers there. We did get stopped out back in a little bit at 118. It didn't even break 118, so a little bit out at the top, and then this fell in on, I don't even know what was going on right there, but nice move down in on AMD. There was a story, I just can't remember what it is. And then there's the cover at 1. So I was telling Joseph and these guys, my short was at 118.40. The stop was at 55 or whatever, so 15 cents worth of a stop. And all of a sudden, we wound up getting $1.50 there on the last 10%. So it was like 10-1 on the last 10%. So that was absolutely huge. And then the other trade that we have on right now is still this one, where you can't even see my entries because the money cloud, there it is right there. So we're still short NVIDIA like we want to be there from the beginning of the day on VWAP. We haven't tested any levels again. But yeah, what's been done in the past is the past, so who cares? Let's move on and think about what trades we're looking for now. All right, as Neil said, how do we know that there's going to be no movement on interest rates? Well, right now the Fed funds futures have predicted 99.5% chance that we stay right here. There is that shot in the dark.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance. I'm saying there's a chance. But I'm saying there's no chance. But the data is saying that there is a chance of some kind of a rate cut. And if there would be one, it would only be 1/4 point. So that is the Fed funds tool. You can get it at CME Group completely for free. Go grab it. I was looking at the NASDAQ and same type of thing here. I don't think the Fed has too much to say anymore, but again, we'll have to wait to see what exactly they're going to be talking about here because you're stuck in the middle. You're not at those highs of exuberance, and you're also not at those like lows of DeepSeek, basically. So you're kind of in the middle here. We did wick down to 21,400 basically, and up to 21,700. So there's a 350 or so point range that I think we could experience here today. We could get to somewhere near some of those bottoms. I'm sitting on a bunch of fresh powder, waiting to buy some dips. Wish we would have got some in on NASDAQ. And not feeling really great about the NVIDIA buy the other day. We talked about that. I don't...
Time frames ever, though, right?
Well,
I don't want to speak.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It doesn't matter. I don't care what the time frame is important, but not that important because it's not to make right decisions. And it's like, if you buy NVIDIA here, you could say, oh, well, I'm buying it at 120. I don't care because I'm not looking at it for 10 years. But the thing is like, that's fine to say that, but why would NVIDIA then be a better buy than like AMD or a better buy than an index?
Oh, yeah, relative to something else.
Yeah, it's just like, if you're holding everything forever, at some point you're going to be...
Well, you know what? That's why I went with the Qs the other day.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because like with the index, I'm not like I just tried to keep it simple. I wasn't sure what the right pick was going to be on Monday, and it is what it is. And we talk about our PAs all the time, and I like the Qs better than trying to suss out which thing was going to be good. But I think for today, try to keep in mind and temper your expectations a little bit in terms of volatility. There's a few names, and I think we all know what's happening aftermarket with Meta, Microsoft, and Tesla. They all report aftermarket. I am reluctant, like those stocks, let's wait till aftermarket. I don't even think I want to trade them. We'll definitely look at them, see how they react. But those are the ones that I kind of want to stay away from because the big money has some decision making to do after the fact. And for those that have like maybe insights as to how it's going to go for Tesla, Meta, I'll leave that to them. I just think you want to stay laser focused. I know the chips are going to move based on what we've already seen today. Obviously, I was literally filming something when AMD happened. I just happened to be on the bid in front of VWAP, so leave bids out there when you have the chance. But Trader Forever in the chat here, 1/4 point rate cut. So I know it's not zero, but we're not getting it. If we did get it, obviously that's going to cause a little bit of volatility, but it's 99.5%. I've never seen it do that in 20 years. I've never seen us be that certain and then actually have an action. So this is about as close to a lock as you're going to get. Usually I'd say something about like the Bills winning as well, but their season is over.
Did that work out? Okay?
Their season is over, so I can't make that quip anymore.
Okay.
But we're not.
I was wondering if it was an equivalent thing.
No, but we're not getting a cut. What'll be interesting to see is if there's any kind of indication when Powell's talking as to how quickly they might cut again, or not at all. Like that's the other side of it. That's what we want to be able to hear, and we're not going to get that till after 2:30, if we even get that at all, right? So.
I think Powell, people are saying it'd be nice if he does not sink the market. I think he does. I think this goes short here.
He punked it last time.
I don't think it has anything to do with him. I just think that I don't think he's going to talk too nicely. We know that Trump wants a rate cut. That's why I almost think that he might go the other way on that one. I just want to bring up one thing here. This is the eSignal. You can right now get a free month with eSignal. Make sure you go in the link in the description and go check that out right here. But this is the trade rate indicator. And I mean, I just looked at Starbucks, which is number 4 right now, moving around. Look at this on a 5-minute chart. Just kaboom right there for Starbucks. Beautiful move up to 109 today as that keeps going. The reason why I bring that up is if Starbucks falls down here, so what I'm doing now is I'm looking through scanners and I'm trying to find out things that are moving around and then looking right here, like NVIDIA down 6% today. If there's going to be a red play for me, like if this does sink the market, we want to look to NVIDIA because it's already red. We want to look to the NASDAQ, obviously, as it will be the leading indicator. So maybe we don't trade the futures immediately. You want to look at other names, right? This KRKR up 100. Like you see what I'm saying about eSignal? Here's a name right here, KRKR. I didn't even notice that one. Disney's up, it's changing. Disney's up. Walgreens is here. A bunch of different names to look at, but looking for strong names into a potential weak market to pick up something near the bottom. So Starbucks definitely on radar here as we do expect no change. So maybe we can go back over to Brennan, shed some light on some of this, but Neil and I just waiting sort of on hands. And then I had Google up there. I think that could be another buy because there's a nice bottom there around 194.
Yeah, they're strong.
No, Neil, to answer your question, that was last time around. And Neil was asking about the dot plot and the economic projections. We got those last time around, so it won't be It won't be this time. So just a regular old boring Fed decision and press conference. But I think the press conference is actually going to be pretty interesting because of tariffs specifically. Will there be any questions outside of tariffs specifically? I mean, it's Saturday. This is supposed to happen.
Yeah, I know. We're 3 days, and the media here and the politicians here are panicking, Brendan.
Yeah.
There's so many unknowns. Is he going to keep it at 25%, or does he do like a gradated thing? I mean, and the thing is, we're going to respond with our own tariffs.
Of course.
So they're going to have inflation by default because their products are going to be bigger unless they go to a different market. Who knows? You can't do that thing so easily in the short term, maybe in the intermediate term. So I think he's going to be pushed on that. The reactions to tariffs by other countries, Mexico, Canada, obviously, and how the tariffs themselves, affect these trading relations. Obviously, that's not really his scope of competence.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a sell-off going into this in the dollar. The value of the dollar has just been insane since the middle of last year. Coming off the highs where that was 110 or 110 and change. This is a daily chart. We're back to 107, 108, 107 and a half, 108, which is that last support level here for the dollar. So this will move definitely coming up here in about 2 minutes.
And to think about it as well, I know he chimed in on crypto last time. It's not his biggest thing, but he was challenged about the US dollar's hegemony. So crypto could be in focus again. Obviously, it's been trading at above 100,000. Maybe he says some negative stuff. Last time he said it wasn't his jurisdiction to build that kind of crypto reserve or the national crypto reserve or whatever it was. It had to be an act of Congress. But I'm sure he'll be asked about it again. What's to stop them?
Yeah, it's such an interesting point in the market. Here's the treasuries as well. You got to keep an eye on these. Green right now, this is the 10-year. Green back to 4.5. Remember, we got to 4.85 at the highs. We've come off a little bit from those, but we're still, if you zoom out a little bit here, we're still, chopping around the top end of the range here, going back to, when this inflation mess was starting, really.
And it's been really interesting to watch these rates, Brando. If I can show the 10-year here, Ram, we're actually defending the area that we kind of rejected off last time, that 4.5 print on the 10-year. We've been defending that for a number of days now, Brando, and it was an area that I kind of was looking at because we had rejected off it before we dropped down to about 4.1. So holding about 4.5, you kind of feel like it's been holding at this level, waiting to see what Jerome Powell has to say.
Yeah, about 90 seconds here to go before we get absolutely nothing. So strap in, it'll be exciting. It's 4.5%. I mean, everyone's expecting 4.5%. It'll be 4.5%. It's worth noting, tomorrow morning, I'm just seeing on here, we do get a GDP reading as well down here at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So on the back of what's to come here this afternoon. We'll see how that's shaping up. I mean, it's an interim read, but.
When's the last time Canada cut rates or the rate decision for Canada and the States were on the same day? I don't remember.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah. If you missed it this morning, quarter point for the Bank of Canada. Again, because why the heck not? Our economy is nowhere near as strong as the U.S. at this point. I mean, what was it? 1.5% was the inflation rate on the last reading. And
it wasn't bad.
They were pointing at the GST holiday for basically an entire percentage point coming off of that. Side note, I was at a dinner last night and realized that it does actually make a difference.
Yes, it does.
On food and bar bills and things like that.
Especially if you're like 4 people, a couple of people, and you're going to a nice place.
Yeah.
It's like $50-$60 sometimes. That's not small potatoes.
Exactly.
So
it's worth it. All right, 30 seconds to go here, guys. We'll make it official. And then we'll see what the market's reaction is. Again, stick around for 2:30. Powell will take to the mic at 2:30 and will be asked back-to-back questions on what tariffs or what Trump's tariffs will mean for inflation. Remember how other countries respond to what he is going to do is going to make all the difference here. So 3, 2, 1. There's 4.5%, so it hasn't updated here, but yeah, 4.5%, guys, as expected.
Thank you there, Brendan. So yeah, no expectation there. I did layer some offers into NVIDIA, but we never got that bump up. So I was going to go short if the market goes the other way. So interest rates unchanged, of course, as expected. Inflation remains somewhat elevated, we're hearing right now. We'll get these reviews as well. We still are short NVIDIA as this makes its move down into the bottom of the day. What about a 120 break? How are you guys feeling about that?
It was unanimous.
Yep. Okay. Unanimous. All right. So of course it was. We'll have to wait to see there what happens. I mean, that's important to know, I guess. Here comes 120. So I'm just getting the updates. They're talking about the language that's involved in it. I think I like the NVIDIA breakdown, honestly, of this 120. Might be worth looking at it. We did bounce off that area before. It's not liking this. The NASDAQ is making that move down right now. Amazon, 237. I mean, this could be a nice pickup as well if you think this is overblown. AMD. All right, so we're just hearing a bunch in our ears. As soon as Brendan makes his way through all of this, we will get it to you. So, yeah, AMD looks like it wants to bounce off VWAP, actually. Maybe a strong name right there, bouncing right now, VWAP. So unless there's something crazily here in this report, it seems fine to me.
Nothing crazy's happening.
Market didn't even really move. And there it is, man. I think we nailed it right there, as expected, with not too much movement. AMD might be a buy off these levels.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin didn't even get back into VWAP on that. You can't call it a dump on that pullback that we saw. So IBIT was at the high of the day here. Bitcoin at resistance at 103. Kind of felt like maybe you'd get into VWAP on this. So there's nothing groundbreaking. We did a bit of a dip and dive. And yeah, if we're going to come to the upside.
Anything or?
No, I was bidding 58.20s on Bitcoin. Sorry, on IBIT specifically off of VWAP. That's not going to happen, at least temporarily.
Let's go.
AMD, if AMD wants to pop in here, we can short off these lower highs. I don't know if I want that VWAP play on AMD. What else is popping that we could fade? Yeah, VWAP or 123 on NVIDIA looks like an opportunity as well. The long I want is going to be Bitcoin. I just felt like it was already strong. So I'm going to go IBIT long off VWAP.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I thought Bitcoin holding up all day was definitely a good one. All right, so we're into AMD. I just took a little bit there. We'll wait to see what happens now with AMD. And just quickly, if you're watching my NVIDIA trade, I'm getting out if it breaks this 122.50. That is the 200 period moving average that we have not breached all dang day. That's my out. What's up, Brando?
Yeah, this is what has changed. Just go right to that. There you go. So they're talking about the employment situation and inflation, and basically the changes going from remains at a low rate to stabilized. Ta-da! And then there was a few Fed members down here that changed what they did the last time, essentially, and that's really it.
Ta-da.
No ta-da.
Market going down.
No ta-da.
No ta-da for you.
NVIDIA, that's
all right, so right now we did get longer into AMD. So here we go, man. No ta-da for you, AMD, as we are now long at 92. So it goes up another 20 cents. Neil already mentioned that we sort of might be in Scalp City, yo. So that's kind of what we're in right now. We wanted to find strong names that bounced. And AMD, I don't know if it's going to bounce, but that's a good one. We'll see. This could moon. We've seen the futures really start to go one way or another, especially on earnings. Let me check out my favorite company as of late, Starbucks. Nice move to the upside there as well. Obviously, no push down to the areas that we were thinking right there. And just looks like a 50-period moving average take again. Look at that. SMA, 50-period SMA. Nice move to the upside right there for Starbucks today, but here we go. Okay, AMD, everything's going to start to get ramped up right now. You just got a fade of the 50-period moving average on the futures. They tried to go there, spiked a little bit higher, and now right back down. So I don't know, man. I think we just keep on the same trajectory that we were thinking before, and that is to see if support can hold some of these names there. I want to get back into AMD because it's strong today. My stop is right here, like a break of this 50. It's not even, that break is 60, but I put 50s. So we'll see if it gets back into here. We'll take another piece to average this back in at 65. And then if we lose 50, we're gone on AMD, and then we'll try it again. So we're using a decent amount of shares, but nothing too crazy because it's a very volatile period.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I want us holding VWAP. If we're under VWAP, I'm talking about IBIT. If we're under VWAPs, then I'm bumping out of the trade. I don't want to lose more than we make in the morning, especially before 2:30. So we took a couple of shots inside when I saw bids step in off VWAP, but each time made a fresh low, we jumped out, and it probably would have even carried further if it went underneath the 58 level. But you're starting to get a little bit of a hold and a checkup here. So if we can close above, I want to close this 3-minute above, and then we can look a little better. I did throw a Hail Mary offer on NVIDIA for the short, because, yeah, we're still coming down here. I threw a Hail Mary to try to grab NVIDIA off 123. Seemed like an obvious spot where there was some selling. If we're not going to get up there, then 122, see like 122, how it's holding, I might take a little bit of a pot shot. So I want to be in that scalp mode, at least for now, not trying to fight things too hard. But now we're going to get that close above VWAP, I think. That's a better place to get in on Bitcoin and go back to Brennan, I believe, another update.
Just solidifying, guys, not much of a change here, but this is the Fed funds tool, 52.7 now for a hold in May. So May was indicating maybe there was a chance they'd go that early, but now it's looking like definitely going to be June before we see any kind of cut.
Hey, I mean, I thought we'd go, okay, yeah.
like
So we
that.
had sort of talked about that for the summertime. I did that yesterday or a couple days ago with Adara on the recap show. We looked at like where the probabilities lie, and it was, so I guess it's kind of the same thing there, June, July for that move. Look, I thought something would happen. I'm not sure. We are now 25, 30 pennies now in the money on AMD. So, I mean, this is a banger. Might as well do it. I mean, whatever. We're just scalping it out as we keep on mentioning right there, buying VWAP up into the 200 period moving average. So there it goes into the 20s. So if we can get more out there, that'd be nice. We will figure out what is going on with that. AMD, we still have that target. What's going on with our friend Apple? Not much. So earnings a couple days from now. Tesla as well. Tesla, guess who reports tonight? Guess who's back? Back again. Elon's back. Are we telling a friend or not? Because, I mean, right now, it's all about robotaxi. It's all about, are they going to get that nether model coming through? What's going to happen with the tariffs? What are the decisions there about China? But right now, Tesla into a buy zone of, I mean, we saw it yesterday. It came through twice. Today, we tested that buy zone and broke it down to 385. So I think this is not a smart area to go look to trade right now, only because of the fact that there is that report in 2 hours. Might be a little bit skeptical there. Like I feel that on this recent run, Tesla right now just under the 50 period could be in trouble. But you know, we've got 99 problems. Right now, trading is not. I actually really don't have that many problems. But right now, trading definitely not one of them, because there goes AMD, another move to the upside. Let's take out some more here into 24, 25. And I have to say, happy 13th birthday to my Baron.
It's Baron's birthday. Happy
today.
birthday, Baron.
We're going to try to go to some
Obviously.
Brazilian steakhouses.
Which one?
This man eats a lot of meat.
Well, he's a growing
I'll
boy.
see if I can find a picture.
He's a growing boy, and growing
He is.
boys
He's
need
a
their
monster.
protein, no questions asked. Shout out to Baron. Oh my goodness, I remember when he was running around on our trading floor.
Yeah, and I'll find. Oh,
Like
he's
it
on,
was-
yeah, here we go. It was.
Yeah. Anyway, no, it's
Anyways, yeah,
no,
go on,
that's
go on,
awesome.
go on.
We were shooting some stuff, and I was actually talking about some traders' kids as well. Like in the
okay.
you hang around a floor long enough, and it's like everyone grows up. It's so cool. But we're coming back into 58. Just quickly on IBIT, we're coming back into 58. I have bought once back at 20s and one back at 10s. Once we get out of the 20s, then you'll see the price at 10. So average price right now is going to be at the 2.0. We're holding VWAP. We didn't on the initial move. We did a second time and got back into 30s, but we could lose the bid again. If we lose the bid again, I'm going to jump away. I still can't get filled on NVIDIA. I want that one to the south side. I was just scanning for other weakness for what I like short. And I'm right now coming up with NVDA under 122. I was looking at Amazon because Amazon is under VWAP and been bleeding all day long. This could be a decent one. The range only 70 pennies. I think that's the problem. Like there's not a lot of volatility relative to what you're seeing usually on a Fed day. So I think being a little bit patient, if we don't get a pop back up to be able to fade on this, then we could be in a little bit more of a wait mode for what kind of a short that I would put on here. So I'm kind of in a wait for this short. If it's not going to be NVIDIA at 122 or at VWAP, then yeah, going to have to start looking elsewhere. Let us know what else you guys are watching. And Hugh in the chat just saying it's their mom's birthday as well. So happy birthday to your mom, Hugh.
All right. I want to go into some trading quickly here, but this is him when he was so small. I was number 6, he was number 6.5, right there. So that's when we used to play some beer league. Yo, Kevin O'Leary, why are you looking so upset, my guy? There he's looking upset. There we go. Warm him up a little bit there. One more. Oh, there he is, right here. So here's Baron right here. This is going golfing. This is I think a year and a bit ago. And I want to show one more. Oh, here's my brother, by the way. All right, just one more picture, and then we got to get to the markets. This is when they were here. Last year. So here we are doing some work. You know, too cool for school right there with his headphones on, not AirPods. He now has AirPods, of course. Okay, so AMD, nice move to the upside there. We did cash some out, not much happening. So happy birthday to everybody who was out there on January the 29th. All right, what's going on with Palantir? I just came across the scanner. So $78 on Palantir. Why did we come across the scanner again? Oh. All right, well, that's a surprise. I mean, I got to cancel that. It just touched VWAP. So again, I thought we have, again, scanners with eSignal. Make sure there it is, right there on the screen. Scan the QR code there, get a month for free. There it is, man. Palantir coming on the VWAP scanner alert for me. That's more of an alert scanner, so it'll just pop up when certain things are hit. Like it's telling me to have a look at Netflix right now to see what's going on with them. And the same kind of a thing right now, hitting its moving average. So not much happening in these names. Let us know if there's anything in the chat that potentially I'm missing.
IWM.
IWM, you're in Bitcoin?
No, Bitcoin lost 58. We're out of it. We'll slap the fail on BTC losing. Okay, 58's IBIT. That's not. It's not Bitcoin, but it lost.
Bitcoin lost 58,000. Oh my God.
I know. If we lost 58,000, we'd have some other problems right now, and it wouldn't be that. No, it's the Russell that's really moving down here, man. So obviously. Look, they didn't change the rates, but you're going to get some outsized moves this year. And if we're feeling like we're getting less cuts this year overall, the Russell is going to be a good place to play. We've done it before. It is also at a pretty big inflection point. You're right at a major support level. As a matter of fact, you might be losing major support, like 2-day support here on the Russell breaking down 225. It would be breaking a rule to punch lows before 230. But if you can't reclaim this, if Powell comes on and we can't reclaim this bottom, yeah, the Russell's got a nice gap in here, and obviously I don't want things to go to the downside, but it is what it is, man. And if Powell comes in and we're still hanging out underneath 225, this looks like a little bit of a short. I was just going back over to Amazon, which it looked like maybe it was strong enough to give you a pop and fade. It's still hanging off of these lows, so still going to be a little bit of a wait and see on AMZN. And as far I'm surprised NVIDIA's it's really not moving as much as I would have expected
I like
here.
the stuff out of this.
Kind of thought there was going to be a little bit more action. Used to either you're breaking through the lows or you're retesting VWAP and you can make a play and a fade on a weak stock. It just has not given you that setup. So I'm just basically scanning some names that I know I would prefer to the short side to see what we can get ourselves into. Intel broke the lows, so that kind of triggered. That could be an opportunity. At least it's doing something new as opposed to hanging out in the range that it was before. So if there is any kind of a bounce, playing some higher lows on Intel, Amazon, or NVIDIA is going to be the play. Not believing in IBIT longs unless we're over 102. I like that starting point as a reference point. If you don't regain it, we don't regain VWAP, I don't want to necessarily catch that falling knife.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look here. I have a new position. I'm going to try DraftKings right here. That came on the alert as well. And the thing about this one was we just came into the 200 period moving average on the 5-minute chart. So a little bit of a drip down here, down 50 or 60 cents on a name that really wasn't doing anything all day. So if it's going to drip down again on a report here of not much in the futures, then I think this is worth a buy. So we're going to buy this name right here, DraftKings against 41.50. Just this little gapped up area there. We did flip down. I'm not going to hold it down to there because if the futures do go down, then it's not worth the hit. So I'm just trying to get this back up to the upside. A quick little trade here on DraftKings. We'll look to see if it can go. We're long right now at 41.67. My offer's right here at VWAP at 80. So we need to get going there. We got a little bit of a drip down here for AMD. I was waiting for more shares at basically at that low of 65. We didn't get 65. Instead, I had to take 72s because I was like, oh man, if it gets down here and I don't get anything, that's not going to be great. So let me take out what we just got down there up here in the mid 90s and see if that will continue to sort of be a massaged trade here on AMD as we just wait. I mean, look, Powell's coming in 15 minutes. So that's when the prepared questions, the remarks, so on and so forth will hit. And Neil and I will be able to sort of react a little bit better to the market when that does happen. NVIDIA, I'm waiting for the 200 period moving average. We can now change that. It's now down to 122.23. And again, this is a monster trade from the open. I wish we still had many shares. We have less than 5%. We talked about it. We haven't done anything since we last left you at 11 a.m. I'm using the 200 period. It hasn't breached it at all. And when it does, we are out. That's 122. I'm just going to put it at 122 now. If it breaks 122, I mean, that 200 period, by the time I look back at it, it's probably going to be there anyways. DraftKings gets up to 10 cents in the money. We didn't take it. So I'm wondering if we should have took something there. Let's see what DraftKings wants to do, though. I'm here for it. Long AMD, long DraftKings, short NVIDIA with that. And look, I wish there was more happening, honestly. I don't know if you're seeing something. Let me just check TLT.
I just saw Apple has a buyer at VWAP.
Okay, the treasury.
Like this entire time, Apple's had a buyer at VWAP. I was just scanning stocks, right? Like what's at an executable level or giving you a trade setup? If we're not flushing, going crazy to the downside, I mean, Apple, it'll give a trend reversion too. So you've been trending since 130, very slightly into VWAP. I feel like if it just breaks this trend, that gives me a scalp trade before 230, because that's what I'm looking for. I want like a scalp trade. So if we can close this bar above the trend line, give it to the local bottom, and that gives you a relatively simple execution that I don't have to necessarily worry about what my plan is going to be. And then on top of that, if we end up trending upside, I have something which is relatively strong. Might be down on the day, but it's down slightly less than the market. They're not reporting tonight, they're reporting tomorrow, and it's holding on to VWAP. I like north of VWAP. Like I'm looking back over, and it's a good thing we got away from IBIT because it's just holding, consolidating underneath VWAP. I don't like that kind of weakness. If I'm going to look for a bounce play rubber band, it's got to be something like this. And then we're talking about the shorts. Intel just keeps on stair-stepping it down. It doesn't seem to want to pop here.
Boo, I bought some Intel there at like $20.
Well, they report tomorrow. If they announce a CEO, this stock is it's probably going to the moon.
Wow.
It probably matters who they announce.
Moon?
No, I think people just want them to figure it out, get a leader on the board, and then I think it'll be okay. So, and moon is all relative.
Yeah.
For that stock, moon is highly relative.
I feel like people might moon the new CEO there because this thing is
that's
been in a problem. All right, guys.
Impossible.
Yeah, look, just real quick time here. Over 7,500 of you watching, so we say thank you to that. We hit the sirens for that. And here we go, guys. 7,500. Let's get those likes a little up there. Only 400 likes. We want to thank everybody for watching again here today and join us tonight because tonight, oh boy, we have the bangers are ready to go. Trader TV Live Research has prepared this. We got the request in and it was done immediately. Thank you to Adara for this. This is what's happening, man. Pre-post. You no longer have to go to earningswhatever.something.com. Who knows what that webpage is? But right now, you could just go over to Trader TV Live Research, and every week for the major earnings season, we're going to have all of this. So here we go, man. Properly put out here, only the names that are the big ones most likely to be traded here live on the show. So tonight, is right here. Post-market, bang, bang, bang. International business machines as well, Fabian, coming through. Lamb Research, man, get your, get the equipment right. Levi's, Las Vegas Sands, and Western Digital coming all there today. And then tomorrow, join me and Adara as we'll go Deckers. Super exciting. Visa, Intel, and then something like this. We hope that Apple turns green.
Who is that?
Tomorrow. But okay, by the way, we just got, get out of here. What am I doing? I don't need to resize that. All right, AMD goes to the downside, and we bought some down there. Now our average price, we got that low. We're not going to layer into this. We are now done with AMD. If you break below this, then we are gone. We were hoping that this move wouldn't really happen until Powell came, but for now it looks like it is happening, and we're starting to drift a little bit lower. Will the NASDAQ hold that low? I don't. Right now, it's just a matter of basically throw your hands up in the air, kind of like I just did, and
wave them like you just don't care.
I mean, you wave them like you just don't care. Make sure you got stop orders in and everything before you wave your hands. But here we go, upside move for AMD. Because right now, 76, we always try to take at least 10% out for 10 cents if it can come back up, especially when there is VWAP sitting right there. So we'll see if we can get some outside VWAP, and then we'll see about this. But it's not looking great here. I should have just gone short, I guess. I picked long. We're not going to die on any swords right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to punch any bottoms yet, but Picky Eater with a good suggestion here, and we'll see what we can do about this. Is it possible to add implied moves on the earnings calendar too? Well,
no.
Here's the thing. It's on the graphic, maybe not, but we will always be able to give you the implied moves.
That was from Adara.
Adara said it'll be a little tricky to get on the graphic, but believe me, we'll always be able to go over those before the earnings. You just have to, if you're tuned into us, we're going to make sure you get the goods as it is happening for sure. Oh, I could kill for a warm beverage.
Yes, a tea. Would you like a tea? Would you like a tea, fine sir?
My hands are freezing. Peppermint tea?
Would you like some mittens?
I owe you a beer up. A mint.
Rob, Neil owes you a beer. Maybe two. One for me, one from...
Stop it.
Neil, you owe him 2 beers.
No, Mike, you guys have seen I've been like waving my hands like that. Why stop? Who hit that key? Why you got to hit the Michael Jordan stop or stop it?
Well, the more you know. Is that what he... Okay, here we go. Now here goes...
Stop it.
Oh, blocked. Powell. Oh, here, we have this
Okay,
too.
now Apple pulled me.
Yo, what's up, Jerome? No, don't you got to be on the podium pretty soon? Yeah, give us a call after. All right, okay, so here we go. So AMD, we get out a couple fills there. It actually went a little bit higher than that, so we get some 85s and some 88s there on AMD as we just been buying the dips. We're long at 73 right now as it's just been sort of late. What? President Trump now speaking live. I
don't want any orders.
I know, but I mean, come on, man. Like Powell's going to be speaking in 10 minutes, maybe saying one thing, and then we're gonna find out right now.
Yo, that's a power move right there.
Yeah, it's probably planned.
Powell going to hit the podium.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'll just step right in there. Everyone will listen to me first.
All right. I just got out some more here at 80 on AMD.
Kind of gangster.
Just because. So let's just wait to see. Hopefully, I just worry because Trump's already said stuff about national security and stuff like that with NVIDIA and this and that. So we'll get more. Oh, he's highlighting federal spending. Oh, he's mad about the cutting in spending. I don't know. Anyways, I'm not going to talk about it until we know more about it because I don't want
Yeah,
to
so there's some things I'm seeing on the line. So he's informed federal workforce they must show up on time.
Right.
Funding, Trump on funding freeze, merely looking at waste and fraud. So basically where they want to target, I guess, reductions in spending, which, I mean, I think we kind of know that. So
makes sense.
I'd say that's a bit of a nothing burger. Let's go over to Brennan at the desk, see if we get more of it.
Yeah, just to confirm, guys, this is not market related at all. They're just talking about some of the cuts that they've made so far and the amounts of each of those cuts. So just following along on the Doge side of things, but it's not market related.
Yeah. I was just kind of trying to make it a little market related.
Government spending is market related. There are some schools of thought that inflation actually comes from increases of the money supply and not necessarily things like tariffs. And if you know anything about the money supply, then when the government spends more, they borrow more, creating more debt, which is where money creation comes from in the first place. So that would be.
You're saying
so
buy
much
Bitcoin?
Well, I already tried to buy Bitcoin already, and it was a bit of a fail. Hey, yo, he just bought me. Even for the tea bag too, which I
told you. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta.
Yo, that's
you
legit.
mention the beer, you get a little.
I usually just like, it's a dripping all over the place.
Saucer.
I won't get too much into that, but I have a certain view about the way money works. But maybe it's not mainstream, so.
No, it's probably not. All right, so just for everybody's point of attention here, I'm holding out, that AMD can go higher, but I'm just like piecing these things out, making a little bit of money, trying to stack up. Oh, by the way, for everybody joining us, we do have pretty cool animations every once in a while. And if you're just joining us, here we go, AMD, let's go. To the episode, if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you do follow all of us, all on our socials, at Trader TV Sean, as we approach 50,000 followers as well. 50,000 followers coming up. We have the Tesla earnings story right there. We have our AMD trade that we talked about this evening before we got out. And then we also have our sticky note trade that happens every single damn day. But who cares about that right now? We had a $4 winner on Alibaba. But look what's happening right now, Neil. This is live again. People always question. They don't question at all. I'm the one that more hypes this up. Here we go. 116.90. We just got filled at 116.96, I believe. Yes, 96s. So we just got 116.96. So put 30 pennies in our pocket there. All we did was buy that dip. It's a well-traded name. This is actually moving up the ranks right now, AMD. And we did not. Unfortunately, we weren't here when this came back into 97. Actually, that's not true because I asked Joe when I came back, I said, where's Alibaba now? And even Wayne in the back. And Joe goes 97. I'm like, what? And then I actually did look it up and didn't trade it. That's too bad because that low was the exact same low from earlier, which we rode up from 97 to $100.50 basically. And then remember where we set our stops. And again, to be a risk manager is to be everything in my opinion. This broke the 50 period and we got out. So we got out of our last 10% or so, but we painted a nice little picture here to the upside for Alibaba earlier. Looks like we got a couple good outs here. I'm gonna take out a little bit more. We talked about risk units. I'm getting out of 10% right now. Every out that I get will be about 10% of what we have left. And we have about 70% left of sort of the beginning of this trade. So let's wait to see. Only 5 minutes now until
Powell hits the podium.
Yeah.
And look, we don't know what he's going to say or what questions he's going to be asked, but let's see. Hopefully, he'll probably talk about tariffs a little bit. And if that moves the market, then I think you don't want to fight the trend. So there was that. I was waiting for a trend break. I just wanted some kind of like a defined entry sort of setup. Apple held VWAP, Bitcoin did not. So that's one. Two, it's relatively strong on the day, and then the setup was pretty clean. They closed above the trend line, subline of best fit. If we lose the prior bar low, it's an easy out. I still think it's a fade on Intel until proven otherwise. But this stock, it's not bouncing. I don't know what is special about Intel, why it's not bouncing, but it's got a little bit of a flat bottom break on it. The low is 18, you're $1 away from literally 52-week lows on this stock. So there's some room if it decides it really, really wants to bleed in here. I keep thinking we're going to get a pop and we can fade into this pop, and this keeps on breaking low. So yeah, it is what it is.
For something to happen.
I'm going to give it to I might just give it to 75s and be involved in this one. I don't know. It's just I like this short.
So again, look at this. I just want to say, everyone, and thank you to eSignal. Go over and get your free month right now immediately from eSignal. Look, here's PAC. Someone just said, guys, PAC is going crazy right now. So I was like, PAC, like the Green Bay Packers, like they made a deal or something? But no, it is this company right here, PACK. So let's go have a look at this one and figure out what's going on. PAC, Ranpak Holdings right now starting to make a move to the upside. So here goes Ranpak Holdings right now. Nice move. They're into $8 the top. And as you can see, we always try to zoom back out a little bit to see where we're going. That $8 may be the top in PAC. So if you can find yourself into, or sort of get yourself into a short there, this could be it. And then the reason why I stumbled with $9 is that was the top previously. So we've seen this name move before. There goes PACK. PAC, nicely done to the upside. Take advantage of more fills here. I'm going to get a 5% here of AMD. If we can get another 88 fill, it's a 20-cent winner. That's all we've been doing, man. DraftKings, unfortunately, I mean, to have waited for that level would have been pretty sweet, but I didn't know about it, so we missed that. So that would have been pretty cool to get that there, but yeah, we don't have that fill on DraftKings. So we're going to have to wait and sit on our hands a little bit. The highest it's ever went to was basically the minute after we got it, 75. I like the level here. I want to see a bump up. Here goes AMD, guys, 30 cents plus now in the money. You know where the stop is, 122 for NVIDIA. So far, so good there. AMD, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Neil. There we go, man. We're putting it here, man. The traders are here to trade right now. And there goes AMD. We leveled into it. It's the only trade. This in DraftKings right now. So here's 40 cents in the money. Let's take some more out here on AMD as it comes back up. Yeah, we'll take Devontae Adams. Okay, so there it is.
No, you won't.
Yeah, he might come back and play with a real quarterback like Jordan Love. Okay, here we go. Nice move back up to the upside. We're taking some out at 117, and then we'll take some more out upside if we get going. But right now, out of 50% of our AMD trade as we just massage a little bit here.
Ooh, that was the More Trader TV board in there, which will show live positions. There you go. So if you're ever looking at the other channel and you want to know what we're involved in, or even the last executions as well, it's always
the only thing wrong is last trades.
Oh yeah, the last trades.
Because I mean, look, I've been selling AMD.
Yeah. Okay. So that's sort of. Yeah, the position board is fine with that. And of course, a lot of updates. Like TAN's going to be up to 2%, and URA is going to be up as well. We're in Apple. I'm trying to get short Intel. It doesn't want to pop. I'm trying to resist the temptation to be short right in here. But Powell's about to hit the podium.
Come on, Jerome.
In 1 minute, you know what? Okay, fine. I shouldn't have. You can be in position with a stop, but I don't want to be on the offer when he's hitting the podium. And it's not like he hit at 230. It's right away going to be a big kind of move. But there's always that chance that, like the first question, there is some kind of reaction. So I don't want to have an order sitting out to get into position. If it's at VWAP, maybe. If it's like NVIDIA, which was part of the pre-plan, I think that makes sense as well, like to the 123 level for sure. So we'll see where he is in the next like 15 seconds or so. And remember, it's generally a trend at 230, not just whatever direction it goes after 230. It's more like what is the trend that develops after 230. We have to put them. I don't know if we're going to do that thing. We're able to put the picture up.
We're going to try.
I know last time we were able to do this. We put the picture up, and then we'll have captions in there.
I mean, it's not like we can, right, exactly, yeah, the captions. So, again, it's going to be a prepared speech. Brendan will go over the document, and then there'll be, like, redactions and things like that, and we'll just get that all figured out. And, like, you know, they'll use the words like aggressive, and then they'll remove it, and whatnot. So there's no dot plot. I heard you ask that question earlier, so we'll just wait to see what winds up happening.
Last time.
So far. So people want, I mean, we can look at Intel quickly. And, again, as this happens, it's not... Apparently he's on board now, so we'll figure it out at the podium. Intel, like I said, okay, Powell.
Oh, he's on the podium.
Guy, there he is.
He's walking a little slowly there.
Right there. Yeah, he's kind of old man. All right, so here we go. Questions time. We'll see what winds up happening. So I'm just going to go to the stocks that I'm actually in. Let's watch out for Intel here. Let's watch out for DraftKings. And then NVIDIA, we already have that plan of action. So not much. We'll just basically watch out for AMD. All right, economies make significant progress towards their goals, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to keep on repeating everything we're hearing. But here we go. I'm going to take another piece out right now at 01s. Yes, sir. Here we go, man. Let's go. It's a chicken dinner winner right now there for AMD. So we'll get rid of that so we can still continue to watch Powell. Go, Powell. Go. Right now, 117 O's coming through right here for us. So nice move up. Let's go. Here goes AMD, man. It's a 50-cent winner. We've got it. Neil's got Apple.
Jerome, put on that Bobby Womack.
Yeah, let's go, man. There goes AMD. We've been buying this one. Again, what did we do? We went and bought strength. We knew AMD was up today. Obviously, we can see numbers. And then there it goes. Nice move now back up to the upside for AMD. Guys, if you're with your boy, let's spin, man. Let's start spinning. Nice move right now up into the 30s. Can we get 28? Yes, we can. Right there. It is. Another one. And thank you, Powell. We'll see what he says now, Neil. I hope Apple can get going. But it's a 70-cent winner right now for you on AMD.
Yeah, AMD doing 70. We're only about 50 pennies up here on Apple. It's off of VWAP, and it's looking pretty good. Oh, you know what? I said I would cancel the offers when he hit the podium, and I still have that offer canceled on NVIDIA. Didn't want to be sitting out there. If we go trend up, I don't want to get run over after 230, so I just cancel the NVIDIA offer. But it's just a VWAP bounce here on Apple, pretty standard. I still feel like the fade on Intel could be a little bit of something as well. This one, yeah, it's weak, baby. This stock stinks, and it looks relatively weak to me. Bitcoin is now starting to go. That's what we took at 2 o'clock. And look at it fly. That said, do I want to hold it a full point? Like going all the way to the lows from a VWAP trade? No, but if we can hold on to VWAP again, that looks a little bit better. M-Sense, I'm not in NVIDIA.
Yeah, I'm going to punch out.
No, like I haven't been in NVIDIA since the morning. And I wanted to get in at VWAP.
That's
the idea. So we're going to hang on to the longs. NVIDIA and Intel were relatively weak stocks that I wanted to play to the south side here. So we're just getting some numbers. He's just talking about, he's just talking about PCE. He's talking about GDP and just going over numbers that we already know. Like, do we not know these numbers as they get released? I mean, come on.
I mean, look what's happening right now to AMD. It's almost $1 right now in the money here for AMD as we continue to go just a little bit higher. Let's punch something out here in the 40s and then wait at that 56 level that we just touched out at. There goes AMD, guys. It's a nice one. You ask about NVIDIA. I'm out now of NVIDIA. I'm going to cancel that trade. I thought the market had a good chance to go there. We will end the NVIDIA trade right now. And those of you asking about that, that was a 126 in to be out at 121.64. That was a big trade, man. $4.55 in the money there on NVIDIA and now out. Good outs there in the 50s, obviously. Let's get out another piece here at 30. So AMD, the big money maker right there. AMD shoots up the board for me right there. P&L number 3 on the day there for AMD. So I mean, we're pretty happy with what we did there. We shorted here. That was a big one. Then we went long right there. So AMD today, NVIDIA will be P&L number 1. That's pretty obvious there. Apple will be P&L number 2 for me, despite being short there. We just had hundreds of shares. It worked out well for us. DraftKings trying to go, but then stopped again at 75. So not much happening there. Yeah, everything is all good, man. I just, maybe we should not have got out of NVIDIA, but I felt like NVIDIA had a chance to fly, and I just didn't need it to break the 200 period, and just felt like giving a little bit back there, especially when we're already long AMD. So let's just cheer for the long. We're offering some more 38s here. here to get out. It's a good winner, man. It's 70 cents. Bang. It's 75 cents now in the money. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and make sure that you join us every single day as we do this every day. Like, I'm here, we're here, we have a great midday show, we have live news on the desk, and then even for tonight, you're like, man, this show is great. What about tonight? It's coming again tonight with the recap show.
Oh, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, man, Stock Blitz tonight. I didn't do that. That's a good one, Sharif. I like that one.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Because we only have Powell's face on there. We don't have ours. So we'll just continue to watch whatever's happening there with Powell. Yeah, it's all good.
Looks like in the...
Yeah, that looks nice. I like how that's on there for the spot. I'm not hating it. It's all
No, I think it's good.
I mean, we're pumping out the winning trades over here.
It's good.
I'm just trying to, yeah.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know. All right, let's go DraftKings. Let's go AMD. Let's go Apple. I mean, we're just long. That's all, basically.
Well, I think we're starting to pull back a little bit here, and oh my goodness, and that was real fast. Why can't you just get to VWAP Intel? It's that bad. We're right back at the low of the day on Intel. This stock is an absolute, this thing is a dumpster fire as we speak. So this doesn't even want to give you any kind of a bounce. Lower highs, and more lower highs when it comes to this name. I feel like this should be a fade. I was just looking over at Alibaba because that was most people's big stock today. I think most obviously was pretty good. The problem with it, and I was looking for, you said the long at 97.
Yep.
It was down there before, but then in the back of my mind, hey, it's after 230, it's a Chinese ADR, volume might not be where you want it, so I think I might back away from this, but I'm gonna have it up. If we do get some kind of a bottoming wick like we did before, this was it was a monster bounce level previously on Alibaba. Look at that double bottom. I wasn't at my desk when this happened, unfortunately. But if we get down there again, it seems like a pretty solid buy zone. So going to throw that one up on the side chart.
All right.
Obviously, it doesn't necessarily have to move as much as the overall market being a Chinese name. But Intel's still looking weak. You know, we went from like that $5 on Apple to right back into VWAP. We grabbed some at 37s. Now we're just trying to hold back on to VWAP again here with Apple. So it's still good. Like, it's still holding on to VWAP. We like that. But you're coming right back in. It's not massive. You know, like, this is the futures here. Yeah, we're down, and we broke the lows, but you're not cascading to the downside. You're not breaking the trend back to the upside. We're still gliding slowly downside. So I think you got to be at least a little bit cautious with the longs. Ideally, I would get a short, but I'm not going to force the action. I don't want to force any short trades here, especially with longs continuing to work out. The questions are now coming in.
Guys, just real quickly here, man. We make a lot of money on AMD, but we did make we made maybe not a great decision there with NVIDIA. So we got out at 121.50. It just fell down to 120.50. Powell's getting questions about the president and everything like that. You better watch what you say, Jerome, right there, because your job is going to be on the line. Okay, so we'll have to watch out. I'm just playing around. All right, here goes. Well, it is on the line anyways. If you don't think that Trump can get rid of Powell, you got something else coming. All right, there goes AMD right now to the upside. Right now, 117.60. Bang, there it is, man. It is $1 right now in the money for that one. So we'll spin it one more time as here we go. And by the way, Neil, people thought that maybe we were only trading AMD. What about us, says DraftKings. What about us, says DraftKings. And there it goes right now. Nice little move upside for DKNG. Neil's got Apple. We're starting to bump around now just a little bit. Let's go DraftKings. I don't know why you're so disappointing, but you appear to be that way. So let's go DraftKings, see if we get some nice outs. We just got an 80 out again there on DraftKings, so a couple outs there. As AMD is really, guys, really starting to go. I mean, look, if you're long with me, man, congratulations. Along with Neil, congratulations. It's now $1 plus change. It is another one given to you. And it was tandoori chicken dinner winners for lunch. We had pork on top of it. I threw that in the garbage.
You didn't eat your pork? It was all right.
No, I've requested no more pork. To me, that was too much. I don't like cold pork tenderloin. Pass. Unless it's in a sandwich. I like sandwiches, you know. I mean, okay.
I need the protein.
Here we go. Yeah, that's the part that's missing when you do that. You don't get the protein. Okay, so nice move up there for AMD, man. We are getting closer and closer to being out of this trade as it's just a monster. So now AMD just rockets up to like number 3 on the whole show, period. And we just started taking this. So nice move to the upside, man. Let's go. Great trade on Apple. This guy's got Alibaba now. I mean, we're all over the place. We're really rocking and rolling. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been a great, great Fed meeting.
Yeah, so far so good. Although we'll see. Alibaba, we just got into. We just held this nice little consolidation. No dump into that 97, and the last push down, you're able to see it hold. But local stop here. Like, keep it really tight, and then play it into VWAP. Which, if you're doing, got to get some orders out into that VWAP. You know, last I checked, if you don't throw orders out when the stock goes to that price, you don't actually get filled.
Look at
and I learned that on day one.
Oh my
God. It was a great lesson, and you know, it is what it is. But I do think. Look, we're going to get to a double top here, and the market's getting to those highs. So I like the fact that we're trending. I'm going to be buying back into VWAP, but I think you just want to, like, let it fly here. When it's going in your direction after 230, you definitely want to let it fly. I'll check back over. So we got the two longs, and, I mean, Intel gets to VWAP. I don't want to ignore it. I still think they stink, and VWAP is going to be a bit of a thing for me. But we got to be more careful because the trend is to the upside. So let's see it curl off, and then that's the only way I will get into Intel. I'm glad. I was looking at it. I was thinking about taking at those lows because I felt like if it flushed, it could be a disaster for them, which they already are. But I'm glad I backed away from that because you'd just be getting run over. So the new positions, Alibaba, that's sort of just off this little consolidation that it made. Play it into resistance and then play it into VWAP. Apple, will let it fly into the high of the day. Oh, look at NVIDIA. Let's go to, we're going to go to the desk with Adara.
We're $1.50 in the money.
I just want to contextualize this push to the upside. There wasn't anything super dovish just said here. Basically just said that they basically need real progress on inflation or a weaker job market in order to cut. He was asked, do you think inflation would remain sufficiently restrictive, or would your policy remain sufficiently restrictive should you actually cut by 25 basis points? And he just said, this is what we need to see in order to do the cut. So QQQ is rising here despite a fairly, I guess, cautious comment there from Powell, guys.
They like it.
Thank you, Adara.
They really like it.
They, yeah, Bitcoin's 104. Nice move.
Who said that?
But look what's happening to AMD. Short on AMD right there. I just put this out on Twitter. Fits like a glove, man. Short right there, boom. Then long right there, boom. $2 in the money right now. And then what about DraftKings? Hey, like, who was talking about DraftKings down there anyways? But there it goes. Nice move to the upside on DKNG. And I would say this one more time.
Another one.
All right, but there it goes. Let's see. We still got to get out. I mean, it's a nice move up. Our best fill there is 95s. It just went up to 05s. So far, so good as we get more and more out of DraftKings. We out of now 70% of that fill because we get this fill. We wanted $42. We sit in front of it. We get it. It's a nice move. It's not huge. It's 67s to O's. So 30 cents or so. Nice move there on DKNG. So yeah, man. I mean, it's everything's working. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I think it's been great right now. We're going to get more questions and answers from Powell. I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for continuously supporting the show. I'm actually going to pull down, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let me find out how many. 900 right now. Thank you so much. Let's get that to 1,000 if we can do that. 6,500 of you. If you haven't done it yet, let's go. Let's get that a little bit ramped up. We do have a big after show as well. Sharif, Neil, and Adara will be bringing you Meta.
Brand new.
Brand new recap show. Meta coming out this afternoon.
Tesla.
And what am I missing? Microsoft.
Well, Microsoft ain't what it used to be. Ain't what it used to be.
The thing is, Microsoft's going to be good because of the hyperscaler, right? We want to find out what is their CapEx, how is that going to affect NVIDIA.
Spend, baby, spend.
Yeah, exactly. And has that spend come to a little bit of a close, or not a close, but slowdown because of DeepSeek and what that means to potentially building models on top of other models for much cheaper. But again, Azure for me is going to be the big one there as we wait to see the cloud and how that's been growing for Microsoft.
Quick update.
Yeah, go.
Quick update. The NASDAQ just wicked the top, which you can see on my chart here. Not the high of the day, but just the resistance. And at the same time, I should put this T down. At the same time, Apple
Put your T down.
wicked its high of the day. I actually tried shorting this level in here. Would have been good if I had stuck with it. No, but it actually just wicked that top. So I'm jumping out. We'll look for the next available trade. And then Alibaba, which we also took. That's, I mean, like it's a Chinese ADR. It's probably not going to move as much as the market. So if we can get it inside the range, that's fine. Looking to see if we can't get more down in here. The better long is actually like 96.70, 96.80. But this is as far as Alibaba wanted to go down. So I want to be ready that if we lose this bid, that this is where I'd much rather be taking the long. And sometimes you're not at your desk. And I don't even know what happened to Alibaba at 1 o'clock. That doesn't even make it's wild. I don't understand why it would have dropped that far, but there must have been like a market shock or something that caused that move. So we're out temporarily for Apple. If we get another chance at VWAP or maybe even a higher low in here at 37, we'll look to see if it can round it off one more time. That's a good song. That brings me back to university because it was at one Friday nights at the Laurier Bar. There was one DJ who always played that same play. He had the same set he'd play over and over again.
Yeah.
And it always started with that song.
Yeah, these guys.
We're gonna celebrate. Yeah.
We're gonna celebrate it.
Oh yeah.
One more time. All right, so we got another piece out one time right there on AMD. Many times there as we go to the upside. Now remember, I don't have to be clear about this because I think we are all the time. Like I'm adding liquidity. So like so right now, just for example, I'm offering 118.40s right here. So if we rip up to that level and fills me, then I will be getting what we call a rebate. So we are producing right now, some educational material that will be hopefully coming out and be helpful for many about that kind of stuff. But we'll talk about it live on the show every day anyways, and that's what I'm doing now. So it's adding your orders into the market instead of removing trades. So that's how it works, and that's called adding and removing liquidity. And so if you sit here like right now at 19 and someone comes up and picks you up, then you get a rebate. You don't have to pay for that trade, which is why brokers if you're wondering, how does IBKR make so much money? And how does some of these places make so much money? It's because they're still charging you $4.99 a trade, but meanwhile, sometimes if you're sitting there offering, then like Neil put like a stink bid. So let's just say you did that. If it comes in and fills you, then you're going to pay your $5 a trade or $10 a trade. But realistically, IBKR collected rebates on that fill. So I'm not just calling them out as a broker. I'm just saying this is how the market works.
Yeah, no, that's just fair.
In general, I mean, it could be for anybody, Robinhood, SoFi, all that. And that's how Citadel with GameStop and all that kind of stuff, started getting in a little bit of trouble because they were, obviously, I don't need to tell you about this, but rerouting orders and sitting in the middle and feeding liquidity and so on and so forth. So that all got looked at. And
the easy way to say it is your orders weren't getting to the market. Like they were getting, you hit enter, you send the order, it's never actually going to the NASDAQ. It's getting offset and then that's what that staying internally, staying internally into their books. They pick it off and, you're not interacting with the market like you're supposed to be. It is what it is, but the IBKR is good. Oh, I forgot to mention this.
I mean, it's allowed to do that.
We talked about this. I couldn't wait. I nibbled into Lockheed Martin. It's small.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind that
small.
trade.
On the long term, as we were talking this morning about Lockheed and how far it was down, I was like, okay, I might just wet the beak on Lockheed. I just think it might bounce.
I just think it's risky to do it ahead of Fed. If it's just for a nibble, I think.
I think it was probably, I got ahead of myself. It was probably way too early to have done it. But
what am I saying, though? Ahead of Fed, it was 99% probability. So the Fed market is actually, it's a nice move by buying. I mean, we're up on the NASDAQ.
Well, I mean, to point, like you actually hear Trump talking about like spending. So this is why. And again, I understand completely if people have ethical reasons for why they would never invest in Lockheed Martin. But it's at monster lows on the daily chart. And something like we're live trading our prop accounts here, our personal accounts. Like I don't mind saying, what we're doing and, what you buy, what you sell. And again, I just think this is at a pretty solid value level. I'll let it settle down before I decide adding to it. And if it can't hold on to 410, this back here, like if it can't hold on to this support, it's an easy out, risking 10% on it. And if we can catch some bottoms in here, maybe play back into the 50 period, 200 period moving average makes some sense to me. Let's go back on over to the market. The NASDAQ is holding out pretty well. It's still pretty slow on Bob, but like it just kind of drifted 20, 25 cents in the money. Apple's right where we left it. So that dip, like it came right back into the high, right back into the low a couple times. There has not been any play back into VWAP, which if we get it, that's what I'd like. Or you can just put in a lower high off of, or higher low off of 27. 237 would still be good. We're getting a little bit of resistance here, that's all. And as long as we're gonna be in like a waiting zone here, either we're gonna pop the top and look for some continuation, or we're gonna look to see if we can't buy some dips on Apple. KR, what was that?
Yeah, I found that. I don't know. I found it on eSignal that one time. I'm gonna sneeze.
Which? Bless you.
Damn it!
Bless
I could
you.
not get the.
Hey, we're live, man. It is what it is.
The mic there.
Keeps it real.
Oh, man. Whew. All righty then. All right, we just took advantage of, I want to go over this again, DraftKings. I mean, it went up to our price. We got filled again. That's again more adding liquidity. This one we punched out because it was breaking back down below 42. So I wanted to make sure we got some out right there. And on that note, I did not get filled. Okay, let's sit at 02, see if we get it. There it is. So we get the 02 right there. I'm going to cancel. I want to get out some more of AMD. I was actually sitting there at 10s. I thought I got the fill. Looks like So punching out there at 02 there, got a little excited. Maybe we did not need to do that. But again, just taking some more profit as we go. I want to look at the Treasury because we had talked about that a little bit before I wanted to look at it anyways. Yeah, nice move to the upside there as, again, no interest rate cut. So you could see the TLT making its move back up as, again, short and long-term Treasuries maybe looking a little bit more interesting now that you have a rate decision look like, I mean, I guess certainty until the summertime right now for TLT. We've had some nice moves back in and trying to hold out right now as we talk about money supply and so on and so forth. So watch out for I think the TLT, I think it's a 20-year?
Yeah, the TLT is a 20, but that's the best one to...
Treasury. Yeah, it has the most liquidity. Yeah. And we often see that. Let's just have a quick look at the imbalances. Not that anything's going to happen right now. I just want to see if there was anything interesting on here. So USB... are they reporting? Maybe. Okay, so Reddit there as a buy. These are just early indicators right now that we're going to fill out in an hour. So there's lots of time left with no NASDAQ names at all. So Reddit, what's Reddit at? 203, man. Wow. I should have just bought that one on IPO. I'm really looking forward to Discord coming out. I think that should be really special there. I don't know if we'll buy it immediately, but that would be one for sure to look at. All right, the only red stock that I have on today, and I was actually showing Tomas because he came over here wanting to know how I was trading. It's our friend from Hungary helping us film some of these videos. I said, bro, this is the only stock that we had lost on today, and it was an in and an out right there at 237.
What is Amazon doing?
Been a little disappointed. Yeah, not much.
It's not even up today.
Oh, man, I'm going to sneeze again. A good time to go over to Dara. Yeah. Or Neil, whatever you want.
We do have Juniper on watch here. JNPR, Juniper Networks, fell a couple minutes ago here. I couldn't find any news, but yesterday they were trading lower here. There were some reports circulating that there's a Department of Justice lawsuit which could obstruct the company's proposed acquisition by Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Also here, in terms of Fed Chair Powell, from what I'm seeing and hearing here, it really seems that the reason the market has kind of pushed higher is because he's not really being cautious in the way that was necessarily expected. There isn't a ton of hard hawkish talk. A lot of it is kind of wait and see, saying that there seems to be a setup for further progress on inflation, but it's a matter of waiting to see if this progress on inflation actually comes to fruition. So very much wait and see here is the name of the day here from Fed Chair Powell.
So the bad news for that, if the Juniper deal falls through, it's going to kind of suck because then they wouldn't get bumped from the S&P 500, and then you wouldn't get someone added, which I think is more fun. There's somebody else that's going to leave the S&P 500 this or the next quarter, at least when I looked at the research. I forget who it was, but I'd love to be able to speculate. No, we're talking about
March.
Yeah, we're talking about March at the earliest, and then possibly, and then
who is
of
it?
course
Who's
June.
supposed to go out?
I forget the other one. It was a company I wasn't that.
What about a Robinhood or a SoFi?
Well, that's what AppLovin's one. Robinhood,
right.
Robinhood over SoFi, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
No?
it's whatever the
Yeah, Robinhood.
Well, I don't know. It's whatever qualifies. You have to have 5 straight quarters of EPS profitability. I don't know if they have that.
I don't know if they got that.
That's what really sparked this name right here.
Palantir and Uber.
Yeah, where's my Palantir investor hat? Palantir right now, nice move up off the Fed. I mean, we picked AMD, which I'm glad we did because AMD is still a mod. AMD is even going higher right now. AMD is $1.70 now in the money. DraftKings now 40 cents in the money and at the highs. That's been really well traded for sure. We've only put on 2 positions since Fed. This and a $2 banger, which goes right back up. Wait a minute. How come I'm not sitting here? I must be sitting here. Yeah, I'm at 43s. Oh, remember that example I said I'm at 43s? Okay, so if this comes up and fills me there, NASDAQ gateway, then we'll get a rebate to add liquidity to here. So as Powell keeps talking, Adara's on the desk now, so if she sees anything flying through on Twitter or any unique comments from Fed Chair Powell, she'll bring that. So you guys are in the right spot if you're doing that. We do have it on the top right corner right now. You can see with the captions and then a couple charts. As you can see, the NASDAQ and the SPY both really did take off. So thanks, Ramin, for getting that going. That looks pretty cool up there right now. What was going on with Uber today? Because we saw something in the midday where it was just like, whoops.
Waymo added, Waymo's operating somewhere new. And then there was a big downward candle, which and Uber's getting beaten up for all
I'm
of
not
this
really
nonsense.
tired of those
And,
stories, but we know Waymo's
yeah, look, we know exactly the point. So Waymo's expanding, which we already knew, and Uber's just going to shock downside every single time. They're still making money. They still have lots of possibilities there. But yeah, it wasn't a good look. So we're coming back on trend here on BABA, which I would have liked to get VWAP before it broke trend back in. But this is a range-bound trade, and if it's a range-bound trade and we lose the trend, then I'll jump out. And remember, I still like it a little bit better down at the 96.70 to 97 is like the real go zone here where it got like monster bids. So this is a little bit far away from it. If we do lose the trend, I'm going to jump out of that one. Still think we can hopefully get a dip on Apple, but it's not really happening. It's still, Apple's exactly where it was when we left it. So we haven't broken the top, we haven't carried through, we haven't pulled back, neither one of those two things. That's why the focus is going to be on Alibaba. And I still think Intel could be a short. I've been pretty patient with it.
Amazon SMH.
And now now you're getting the rejection of VWAP. There hasn't really been much of a consolidation, but I think this might be it at the 19.8 level here on Intel. Yeah, it's still a dog. This one can't carry through and is losing what semblance of support it had. Market at highs, this wants to press lows. If I'm going to take a shot in a short, then this will be it. So it trailed out of Alibaba as it doesn't seem like it wanted to hold on to that trend. I won't go long at the same price, the 97.5. I'd like it to break that and see if we can get 97 even. Because that was a huge missed opportunity early on early at 1 o'clock. Alibaba should have been, I don't want to say free money, but like if it bounces once and you've been trading it all day, and that was the bounce that we like, I'll go back to Alibaba. So there's our trail. If it bounced once there, if we get a shot to trade off it again, it's a triple bottom. I'm going to take it. But I'm not going to hold it through the low. I'm not short. I guess I had to take profit out when I punched out of this one. So that's just me getting out.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get out of some AMD right now at 118.18s, just because not much happening. We did have a nice move up. I just want to look at the NASDAQ quickly because if you're going to talk about zooming out, I mean, we just did it right here, right into the pre-market lows, right into this level that held again, and then this drop happened. So we're getting out of everything. Like, we had to move up, right? We do the Barry Horowitz. We pat ourselves on the back. It was a good move up. We put some damage on the board for NVIDIA, yeah, and AMD and DraftKings, and that was it. And now we can just sort of watch to see what winds up happening. And look, I mean, we just got that fill. So as Neil just mentioned, look at that. There's the 18 fill that we just got. Well, now it's coming right back in. So there it goes, right through the top side. And that's an example of adding liquidity. So we are sitting there at 18. It comes up, it fills us. We get the fill. The money comes into our account as a fee, rebate, and then we also get the gross, obviously, of $1.58. So nice move upside now. As here we go, we're starting to go. Now remember, oh God, the policies are having a meaningful effect. Let's go to Adair for the full story.
Keep an eye here on Robinhood, HOOD. We actually do have here apparently Vlad Tenev, who's the CEO of the company, saying that Robinhood has started to roll out futures trading on the platform. I just saw this here from a source on X, but this source has interviewed Vlad Tenev in the past, so fairly reliable here. Robinhood, HOOD, reportedly starting to roll out futures trading on its platform here, guys. Also still seeing comments from Fed Chair Jerome Powell. I will continue to keep you apprised.
I don't want to look at the daily chart of Robinhood right now. It's just going to
what, Robinhood?
No, it's just going to make me. No, it's just like it's.
I mean, we have SoFi anyway.
Yeah, it's up like but SoFi is up like 2.5 times when Robinhood's up in the same realm like 6x, and it's like so you make a choice, and it's not just whether it wins or loses. It's the opportunity cost of the thing that you didn't buy. So that's the reality. You have to be able to look at things from that frame.
That's my whole thing about NVIDIA. It's like there might be better stuff to buy. I don't know.
I don't know.
I bought like the company. I don't know.
Yeah, like I bought some ARM and some Qs. It is what it is.
Man. Okay, what's
so we're still in the same range. I'm looking at Apple, same range. Nvidia, not really. Here's Nvidia right now. I'll go from that to Nvidia holding underneath 123. But it's above the 50. We've stair-stepped up. Don't know how much I like that short. Note the difference between, obviously Apple's strong, Nvidia's not super strong, but the difference between Nvidia to me and the difference between Intel. Like Intel has no problems busting lower and breaking prior support. So it's definitely a weaker name. It's about the only thing I see that is remotely a short right now that I'm liking. So I want to get the reload, like we said, on Apple. Baba probably has to flush a little bit more. Like, Apple's not doing anything. It's 3 o'clock, it's power hour. It's got to make the next move so we can make a play off of the next move. And Baba's still looking like it's drifting to the downside for some kind of a dip buy. Let us know what else you guys are trading. Maybe just going over and seeing what Robinhood can do on that catalyst. It was already strong before this.
You know what name that I'm starting to like a little bit more for solar? I've never been in for solar. It's just, again, like that LMT, it's dropped quite nicely right now. We should look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up again, too, a little bit there. But First Solar is just coming into this area. I don't know. I got to do a little bit of research on this. Like, what are some of the subsidies coming through? Is there going to be funding for solar projects? Are they cutting, or have they even been in place right now? They're not subsidies. They're like rebates and stuff like that for solar. So this could be something, if it does pick back up FSLR. We'll wait. I mean, you could see, we talked about the destruction, and maybe Sharif, he's not here right now, but he always talks about sort of a play on nat gas. I'm looking at this right now for FSLR into this area. So we'll have to wait to see. There's the TAN ETF, and look how beat up this is as well. So some downside plays here in the space. Just wondering if it's a little, maybe take the ETF, but the name itself, you get sort of the juice on. So maybe we do get a nice little upside move in the TAN ETF, but I would rather have FS. I love Starbucks. Yeah, it's on the sticky note, but I missed it.
$110 Starbucks. Do you?
Yeah, man.
For almost 10% to the upside. That's a beautiful looking chart. We're talking continuation plays in the middle of the day. No, it just, there was someone in the chat asking about Starbucks, and it's like, that's a nice linear move. That's when you get that nice program buying and nothing's out of whack and nothing's going crazy. You never want to short stocks like this. Like, it's weird to say, but typically it's better opportunities if a stock goes up, does a parabolic wick, and gets you an entry point. There's just nowhere you'd ever want to short. It's easier to trade when you look at something like Starbucks, so congratulations to them. Still basically in the same range. Powell's not giving us anything crazy here. Like, he gave the one jolt to the upside, and now we're just sort of working in the same area. So I'm just bouncing, like, what is going to make the next move? It doesn't seem like it wants to be Apple yet. We're still holding the same spot in here. Just what else is worth looking at? Reddit is popping, apparently. Is Reddit doing something new? I mean, Reddit's doing its thing.
203.
Yeah, but it's sort of like, this is sort of, it's not really different from Apple's chart. Hold VWAP, and then hold a bull flag to the top. So you're in the bull flag stage. That doesn't get me off of Apple as the next opportunity, but it's a good look. It's certainly strong for sure. So, you know, I like the fact you identified a strong stock. I like the fact it's above VWAP. Reddit's been an absolute banger. I would have some concerns when Discord comes to market that could be like a take profit spot for, you know, Reddit shareholders. Could give you a buying opportunity. You never really know. Think Kava and Chipotle.
Yeah, I really like Kava. That's another name. Oh man, let's check out Kava quickly here. We just got another piece out of DraftKings at 93. CAVA. I remember when we had Ayo guy. Where was he from? Mike,
Ayo.
I think. From something. Anyways, all right. So yeah, Kava. There was earnings, but you know what? Like, look at this. You take a look at that. Like, Kava, nice dip down.
Oh, no.
I didn't even realize this had just happened. Kava down to 110. Like, that could be a name for sure. Look at that. What about the read? Look at that, 110 and change right now. All right, before we go, I just have to ask people one question. Are you a skilled trader but lacking capital? Prop firms offer the opportunity to trade with simulated funds, allowing you to showcase your skills, access account sizes ranging from $5,000 to over $500,000. And you can start with as little as $20. But with over 500 prop firms, I have no idea how you'd be able to find out which ones are the best. Well, what a coincidence. We have Prop Firm Match right here. It's your go-to platform for finding and comparing only the most esteemed. Oh, man, I should just read what's written and not worry about it. Esteemed firms with proven track records and consistent long-term payout histories. Access over 4,500 verified reviews. Explore payout histories and discover the best current deals. You guessed it, all in one place. So there's a big fancy QR code right now on your screen. Make sure you do scan that and find the perfect prop firm match for you. PropFirmMatch.com, your one-stop shopping for prop firm matches. And now, with that being said, only one show has a Dara, and it's ours.
Thank you for that transition there, Sean. We do have NVIDIA and some of these AI names on watch because Powell was actually asked about AI, basically asked, what did, if anything, what did that drop on Monday say to Powell about the state of the U.S. economy? He said that AI is a, quote, big development for parts of the stock market, but the Fed isn't really paying too much attention because they're focused on macroeconomy. So Powell kind of not really commenting there on AI. We got a little bit of a drop here, though, in NVDA below that 122 level, though, guys.
I just got out, I'll give it back to you in a second. I just want to tell you because I just made another play there. I just got out some more DraftKings at 89s. We've tried to sort of, I offered it, we were able to get it, or 88, sorry. So that was a good fill there. I'm low.
Apple
Right now, yeah. And Apple, Apple, will it bottom tomorrow? We will find out on that one. But yeah, for right now, this is what we're doing out of some DraftKings. And really, I'm going to offer right now, okay, well, we offered 41s and got some more out there on AMD. So just to let everybody know, man, we are like under that 2%, or about 2% now, maybe a little bit more on AMD, and then under that 5% right now with DraftKings. So we'll look for some more names, but for right now, that's what it is for me.
How do we just dip and Apple didn't dip at all? So this still looks relatively strong. It's weird. Like the market just dropped 50 points or handles, and Apple did absolutely nothing. Everything is looking still relatively bullish here. Robinhood obviously is a strong one as well. We're still not breaking the highs. Maybe Robinhood decides it wants to go for a jaunt next. Got to be able to throw that one up. And in the midst of that, maybe we should have just chased Intel all the way down. It is at the low of the day. It does look like absolute trash. But I see Alvin Ng Wang saying, look at Alphabet. You were saying this earlier.
XYZ.
Square? What's Square? No, Google holding the highs. Again, not different from Apple. And I would venture Apple is a little bit stronger. But yeah, holding VWAP, holding 195. Bit of a tighter range if you break it out here on Apple than I see over there in Alphabet. Swagger saying, what do I think about GME? If it's breaking resistance,
that's some swagger.
Then we like it when it can squeeze. Right now, GME is doing absolutely nothing, and it's a Fed day. So, strike one, it's a Fed day, so it's not the day that I would ever want to look at GME. Strike two, it's not moving. Volume's non-existent on GameStop. Never mind trading anything. I don't care. We'll trade DJT if it moves. We'll trade GameStop on the days that it's going. But it's not really doing anything. I think that's what matters. You want to be able to see something give you an opportunity. We got an opportunity there on Apple. Maybe tomorrow, whenever they report, maybe GameStop will be something, but not right now. Not that I know when they report.
No, I don't think so. As well, I was just looking.
They don't report today. I can tell you that.
No, they report February 6th. Sorry, was that what you're asking? Yeah.
No, I know. I just said I didn't know. That's
I know. Yeah, February 6th. So I'm trying to carefully watch out for that. And yeah, so Google is what you're talking about, right?
No. Someone was asking about GameStop.
GameStop.
And I said I had no idea when GameStop
let me look it up. Okay, so here's Google's. I was only looking earlier. That's why I know right there. Sorry, Tuesday, February 4th in 6 days. It's Tuesday, February 4th for Google. Let me just check out here what GME is doing. This is according to GME. What? GME. What am I doing? There it is right there. I have the mouse on it right now. All right, so they don't have an earnings date on here. We'll load up the calendar and figure it out. March, April 2025. March is the next one. All right, March 25th. Is the next one that I'm seeing here on GameStop. I don't know. It says unconfirmed.
Yeah, let it sleep.
That maybe right. I don't know. So we'll have to find out for that. Did they already report their quarter? I think they already reported their quarter. Did they?
Did they? This is the thing. Like I don't
know. I'll have to find the timestamp.
We don't own it and we don't regularly trade it. I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to know what they reported last time when they reported.
Looks like we made a mistake
on GameStop
here.
I
just tried to get up more
much of anything. Roblox is making a bit of a move I see in the chat. Is it really going to be a break of the low here on Intel? It could be the point. It could happen next. Eric Bishop is asking about Netflix. Don't mind going there as well. What's going on with Netflix? 975. Bull flag, but weaker bull flag than what I'm staring at in Apple. So you're holding VWAP, and since Powell came on the podium, you've got a nice little bump, and you're holding like everything else is. That's the pattern I'm seeing everywhere. And there hasn't been a move off of this pattern yet. So I don't want to rush into any moves. But we'll check anything if it's making a bit of a move. Oh, there's something. This is different. Roblox is a little different right now.
Hopefully it's up.
Yeah, grinding higher at the high of the day. This is not, it's breaking a bull flag more than anything else. It's a fresh 52-week high. Is that an all-time high on Roblox?
No, not even close.
No, it can't be close because it would have been, yeah, it's not even.
All-time high in Roblox is like $200.
Yeah, this is the only thing I see breaking the top when the market isn't. Now Apple wants to. Okay. All right. Back to Apple. Apple's trying. This is like the 7th time Apple's tried to hold this high. And look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 8 times. And for a half an hour, we've been here without any follow through. That is the problem. So I'm not forcing my way into anything just yet. Any guess if Tesla would sell off at 4 o'clock or before 4 o'clock? We don't know. We've seen it move. I think usually I want to see what the imbalances look like if anyone has any kind of a tip as to what's going on. But we don't get the imbalances on NASDAQ stocks until they come out at 350. So there's no early look for us on Tesla. So we can't guess on that. But we will let you know what the imbalances are on all of the big names in about 40 minutes or so.
DeepSeek is now available on Azure, says Microsoft. I just tried to click on ChatGPT here, and it's not working. So load. So I don't know. I just tried to go over there and see what was going on. As I'm just hearing in my ear that Microsoft has, I guess, is now supporting DeepSeek on Azure. That's what I just heard. We'll find out. They've uploaded it. All right. What I was saying I was wrong is I guess I was wrong on DraftKings, but we'll take advantage of this one as it just comes right back up right there again. Like, again, we'll go 3 for 3 here so far this afternoon with AMD was over $2 winner. And then DraftKings right now is at the highs. It's not super exciting. It's 40 cents, but we'll see where it does wind up printing out for us now on DKNG, ready to rock and roll. We do have a big after show ready for you as well, so get ready for that. Powell's still talking, Neil.
He's talking about the labor market right now. So he just said businesses that rely on immigrant labor are having difficulties, is what he just said. So
Okay.
he's opining on the labor market there. Again, not going to move anything. Well, what's wrong with opining? Opining is the correct word there for Powell. It's not really moving the market. Word of the day is not opining. You got to throw that one out there. No. The word of the day is when it's like bigger. Like I got to use a real school word. Opine is not a school word. No,
Where's
you got to
that word
go.
of the day?
You got to go a few levels
already
up.
Catching shrapnel.
A few levels up for it to be the word of the day.
There he is. What's up, shrapnel guy? All right. Yeah. We used that was a fun segment. Why don't we bring that back? The word of the day.
Well, because the professor doesn't actually say any interesting words anymore.
What?
His vocabulary's gone down.
A lot of.
I'm saying.
The professor says no interesting words. That is pretty shots fired.
You step his game back up.
Okay. Step your game back up on the vocab there, Professor Sharif. Okay, so just real quick, we're having some fun here today, obviously, as we always do. All right, so, I waited for 118 again for AMD. We only have pieces left of that. I think we've done a good job of talking all about that. All right, yeah, federal grants. We talked about that, NATO, in the chat there. Trump is speaking. Can you believe this right now, Sharif? Trump is speaking at the same time as Powell, I think. Yeah, you know that, yeah. So funny stuff happening right now in this market. All right, if there's any other names you want to look at, we did look at Alphabet. I did sort of say that would have been a long that we liked before the announcement. I chose AMD and glad to have done that. Amazon, another super strong name, man. I mean, I don't care it's down today. Just looking at the way this chart looks, I love Amazon. Obviously, I'm talking my own book. I've been loving this for a very, very long time, and it continues to work, man. I mean, just now taking out all-time highs today, up into that 240. I don't know if we probably didn't wick that. I'll have to check that out. But anyways, all-time high close could happen today if we get above that 238.50. We may not. We're still down 0.4% with not that much time left here to go. So we now have less than 5%. I'm going to probably just punch out of DraftKings. The market is just a funny thing right now, up and down and around. So I'm not in love with what's happening here. So I'm probably just going to, you know what? Probably this, probably that. Let's just offer this out on AMD. We're going to sit at 36. If we get it, we get it. Oops, sorry, this is AMD here. We'll get out at I just offered 36 to make that rebate. Hopefully we can get that. I'm not liking what we're seeing right now.
No, we're starting to turn a little bit here.
So I'm going to exit out aggressively. There it is. We punch out right there. You can see we get a little bit of a mashed print there on DraftKings, but a nice out for us as we'll finish that trade on DraftKings and do this. It was a good idea, right? We're able to take some money out of it. Anytime you have a winning trade, it is a little Barry Horowitz action. We pat ourselves on the back. We are getting ready to get out of AMD. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We only have 2% left. We just got out of DraftKings because we're a little bit nervous. Let's just see what happens with AMD. Maybe if we break VWAP, we're light on it, so Adara has something.
So we had a little bit of a drop there in the market. Fed Chair Powell said that the expectation is that the Fed will continue to make continued progress on inflation, but saying that the broad sense within the FOMC is that they don't need to be in a hurry to adjust policy stance. So that could be a little bit mixed there for the Fed, guys. Back to you.
Yes, I might have missed that because it got choppy in my ear there. But a couple of things. Low of the day broke on Intel, just very barely. I think I got dark pool wicked into that one because it printed but did not get through. It triggered anyways. I'll give it to the local bottom. And then Apple, it did come back. And so it broke out that 238 area. It just came right back into support. And we'll see if it can't get back into the high. Now, remember, today's high is not the end story for Apple. Yesterday, it resisted in the afternoon, 239 late in the day, and then a 240 top. So there is some overhead resistance here in Apple. If we get back into the 239 level, would want to be able to jam out of that one. So we're finally in Intel, though it could be the wrong spot to get in. And now looking for the long again here in Apple, although it's not really the same price. Like long VWAP, this time we're long off the bull flag consolidation. But if we lose that bottom, going to jump out, and maybe we have to go back and revisit VWAP. Robinhood, for all of it's just still going. Robinhood is up at 51, looking very, very strong as well. Maybe should have gone into a Hood, or you're still range bound on Apple. With Hood and Roblox are doing new things. Let me come back to that. Oh, never mind. Roblox just pulled back big. Throw that one out. Yeah, throw that out the window. Roblox just reverted. That's not a long.
Come on, Roblox.
That's not a long at all.
All right, I changed my mind. I'm allowed to do that. All right, so we just got out of half of what we had left. Now we have an amazing 1% left, and I almost don't even want to talk about it because it's going to just bug me. You know what? I'm going to get out now. I don't care. All right, we're out at 28 right there. We're closed our AMD position. I just don't want me looking at this as if it's a real position. So we are now out of that. That was a really, really good one for us right now there today. I want to look, maybe PayPal. If there's any other questions in the chat. Yeah, I'm hearing right now something about X, which is U.S. Steel, getting some volume. Just what I'll look at there. We don't have the eSignal scanner up right now, but you can go over and join us with our eSignal platforms. Here is a trade rate scanner. There goes X right now, moving into the upside. So this will update with names that are sort of moving around. There goes letter X right now, up to 37.40, 37.50. So we'll find out, but we're bringing this news to you right now. Adara's on it. Letter X right now starting to move around. You can see Tesla's moving around as well. IBIT, Apple, everything right now. Rigetti down 4% today. U.S. Steel right now, Neil, starting to move around. We will get that story from Adara very, very soon, as I just heard the call. So we'll wait for it all being set up, and she's set up now.
I'm not hearing anything about X here, just so you guys know, I'm not seeing anything yet. But when Powell was asked about the March rate cut, he said that there's no need to hurry. So Powell really kind of giving this vibe now that we're not going to get any cuts for a little while here. As we hear that, we get a drop in the market. I have not heard anything about U.S. Steel, nor seen anything about U.S. Steel as of yet, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
perfect.
we know the deal. We know a deal is pending, obviously, and with Nippon, and also there's the potentiality that There's the potential, of course, that.
There we go, Neil. See?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
The professor liked it.
I walked right into that one. Now, there's a potential that Cliff.
That might not even be a word.
I don't even know, man. I just threw it out there. You guys tell me. I'm not.
He's a professor.
My mom put my butt in Scrabble every time we used to play, and she would.
Scrabble. Oh, yeah.
Well, we played it as a family, and my parents. They pulled no punches.
Potentiality would be a great word, I think.
No, it's a Nucor and Cleveland Cliffs were thinking about teaming up. Maybe there was an update on that. My first thought, so I just canceled the bid. My first thought was try to punch long if that was the news. But now that I haven't heard any news, I'm not going to sit on the bid. I just thought I was going to try to get it through 37. But if there's something legit here, then I don't mind jumping into the long. The same way Juniper went to the downside. Why not? Let's go to Adara.
Powell being asked here about crypto and Bitcoin, asking, what are your thoughts on basically this riskier, unregulated asset? He says that he thinks banks are able to serve customers as long as they can manage the risks, but saying that for banks engaging in crypto, the threshold is a little bit higher. I actually was reading recently, apparently a specific rule with regards to the threshold being higher for banks has been removed by the new SEC, but regardless here, Powell saying that banks should be having a higher threshold with regards to holding Bitcoin, but they should be able to serve, or they're perfectly able to serve crypto customers. So BTC, pretty high on that.
918. All right, that's good enough for me. I just wanted to see here, 59.20 would be the high of the day break, right? So I'm going to go long. Powell's over. So that's it. So he's over now. We'll have to wait to see what winds up happening with crypto. I'm going to go long a little bit if we take out that top, and then we'll just play it back into sort of where we started, 59. I mean, I feel like that's fine if we do wind up taking that out. So we'll see what winds up happening there with IBIT. Yeah, we're done now. So out of everything. All right, so now that Powell's done, I sort of like to look back and say, okay, so when he stepped on was right here. We were at 21.4. Wow, that was a key level. We talked about 21.4 before. Nice move up, about only 125,580, about 180 handles. That's not a big enough move for me to worry about like it retracing back down or anything. I feel like pretty much nothing, to be honest with you. The futures are right where we were at earlier this morning. Not much happening. We got the Fed rate cut that pause, I shouldn't say cut, that we were expecting. So I'm not expecting much to happen other than potentially something with crypto. And I actually, before I even knew he was talking about crypto, we haven't looked at it in a minute, so I wanted to bring it up. Here's that 15-minute chart that we like to use. You are now above the 200 period and above the 50 period. So for me, that's a let's ride moment. So we you want to try to watch out for that play coming through on BTC, and it looks like right now it might be there for that break higher through 104, Neil. So that's a great little level there, 104 on BTC. So I like that play, and I think there's some juice here to the upside for crypto now. Yeah, so let's wait to see. 104 break gets you into 105 right now, and then we see from there. So yeah, I like the chance. So that's why we're going to try out for, actually not Amazon, or not AMD, sorry, for IBIT. If we take out that top, let's see if we can ride with it. We'll go in, we talked about this. If a full position is going to be 10 units, this is going to be like 3 or 4 unit play. I just want to see if we can get going there on Bitcoin, and then we'll drop it back and get out maybe at the 50 period, something like that for a break. We only have 30 minutes until imbalances, so I'm not trying to get like too juiced up about this, but we'll still wait to see where it goes for crypto. So if it goes, we'll be there into the close and see if it carries the day.
Yeah, exactly. I still haven't seen it. I want to go long on U.S. Steel, but I just can't pull the trigger on it. Still hasn't been a news source. Obviously, something happened here. 100% something caused this to
Powell
spike.
said something would be my
He
guess.
must have said something, and it's right back into where it broke out from. This is generally a trade like anything with buyout speculation that gets this. If it pulls back either VWAP or into the prior high, you get these implicit floors that happen on these stocks. It's in a relatively tight range anyways since the last updates that we've gotten on this deal. So I might nibble in front of VWAP. I don't know. I'm not really seeing like Apple just, oh my goodness, Apple.
No.
Oh, Apple. We flatted
We're going to
it.
be in Bitcoin soon.
Oh, wow. Okay, Apple's gone.
Yeah.
All right, so Apple just went again. Did not give it. Okay, I didn't give it a lot of room in there. Like got some profit when it went 20 cents in the money. Took it out when it went 15 cents against. But now it's wow. Okay, Apple's still on one. Now green on the day. Apple. Oh, what is Robinhood doing at least? It's all good in the hood, and Robinhood is taking names for sure. That one's looking like an absolute rocket ship. All right, I'll give you one more chance, U.S. Steel, because it's still holding this 37 level. Let's go to Adara.
Oh, you're tired?
I can really not find anything on U.S. Steel. The relative volume on this is less than 1. It's 0.57, so not a ton of volume actually coming into this. The most was under 400,000 shares in that 1 3-minute candle. And the most recent story on it was from yesterday, more than 24 hours ago, around 12:45. Basically hearing that one of U.S. Steel's major investors opposes a proxy proposal from an activist investor. That was it here, guys. There's nothing on X. There's nothing on social media. On X, I am not seeing anything that can even remotely contextualize that move we had for U.S. Steel, guys.
It is a, let's see if we can get Oh yeah, let's just say what's up to our friend Max. Okay, so watch this. So we're gonna put in our stop order right now. So we're in IBIT, by the way, if you were wondering. We are now long Bitcoin right now. Look, I'm trying to show you trading futures, trading everything here today. There goes Bitcoin breaking that top. So our stop is gonna be right into here. 50. Wow. Okay, 50. I gotta maybe get out of something here. 58.80, 85. So let's just go 58.89 or so. Following the Powell comments, we do see a nice little bump up here in Bitcoin. So let's get out of again. We'll get out of 10% or so of what we have if we can get it. It's now fading back just a little bit. We're only in here at 21. All right, we just get some 30s there. Now we're starting to go back. Oh, we got more than 30s. What am I talking about? We just sort of, what just happened there? Oh, we got 35s actually. Sorry, we got some 31, some 35. So a nice little wipe there. Look, we told you we're taking it. So guess what? We're in it. There we go right now with this position. So let's see now what winds up happening with our friend IBIT. Look, we told you we're taking it. There's the take. Like, I don't see any other shows that are anything like this, where we're literally like buying Apple, P&L number 1, buying AMD right in front of everybody, P&L number 3 right here. And that was traded right in front of you. And silly maybe getting out right there. That was taken right there. Amazon, the only red name that I have today, right there. Like, if you're looking for trading, boom, Baba, that's the trade right there. DraftKings, no. All right, well, we had it anyways. Congratulations, anybody that held on to DraftKings. We him and you are him for holding on to that one. IBIT. Oh my, Neil, IBIT right now, she be climbing, boy, all the way to the high side right now. And there it goes again. IBIT, bang. This is our best day of the week. Like, I'm saying that every week, but if we could show P&L, you'd see it. There goes IBIT right now to the north side. And then we haven't even talked about the biggest P&L name for the show today, period, and that is NVIDIA. So, like, this is the kind of stuff that we're doing every single day. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Not only that, you're going to have our best show coming up in only 30 minutes when we talk about earnings and our market recap show. So if you're live, you want real trades, you want live trades, you want to follow traders, I mean, here it is right here. Today, Neil, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 6-1 today, everybody. So I hope you're enjoying the show. And if you're not, that's fine too. But it's been a big one, and we're happy to present it to you.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. MSTR has a quadruple top here if you go back to yesterday in the afternoon, like literally right now. 343. You already saw it tag it once this afternoon. I have the 3-minute chart up so you can see what happened yesterday on MSTRs. It looks like it wants to just now break through. Cool. Okay, so it has broken. Come on, chew through it. Want to give it to the $1/2 here. Oh, hold on a second, I got stuck orders. Give me a second here. I have a stuck stop I can't cancel.
Yeah, no worries. We're
I'm going to get this store. I have a couple of stop orders that I don't need to be filling when we go to the aftermarket. So anyways, we broke in the top here on MSTR. I'm going to give it to that $1/2. It's obviously got like 44, 45, 46 to the upside available here. So we'll see where it goes. It just tagged it now. The last time Bitcoin made a breakout, MSTR in the afternoon kind of put in the range. It did not break the 50s there. No, it didn't. All right. If it holds on to the evens, I'm just going to get back in again. It did not break 50s, unless I keystroke.
All right, well, that's fine. I mean, there's another trade there. I mean, those of you want to follow me with Bitcoin, we took IBIT. You want to follow Neil? He's on MSTR right now, so just take it for what it's worth. All right, so I'm out of already 40% of this trade right now. Again, we'll see. We'll see what winds up happening. Taking a little bit more out right now to the upside. We're always playing off this level, so as we come higher and higher and higher, right now it's only 20 cents as our stop. So the fact that we're in the money there, 30 cents, we started to take some out because remember, we're watching out for this 50-period moving average. So that's now at $59. So let's put that out right now, $58.99. That's going to be our new stop. We have to just keep on adjusting these because it's working and it's going upside right now. There goes IBIT again. We have to maybe put an offer somewhere else. Let's put an offer now at 54 as we start to get more and more out of these positions. So you know what? I'm going to offer some 47s. Okay, nice little fade back. Okay, there we go. We got 47. So that was a good one. Another example of adding liquidity. Yeah, so far so good here into the close. It is another one, another victory there, right there. Guys, AMD was $2. DraftKings is unbelievable move. I just wish we were still in this, but we had this from right here. and out. So these are real trades, not like little baby scalps back and forth that I'm generally used to. As we'll just do this and we'll put it up. We'll put up a big number today. But here goes IBIT as well, trying to take out these tops. We're getting lighter and lighter. We just took out a 48 there.
Oh my goodness, Apple. All right, cancel the bids on Apple. This one's, it's now gone. We're not going to be able to catch a dip buy in Apple. It's completely gone at this point. I just checked my CPU usage, and that is the reason. It was just slow messaging. That's all. Like the fills are coming in, no questions asked. We're just getting some slow messaging. Taking the breakout. We'll see if it's going to be able to hold. It just wicked to the bottom again. So I jump right back in. We'll give it the prior bar low and see how MSTR goes. The last time this happened, it made a clear breakout trade. So we're going to give this one a shot. I like MSTR in these circumstances, but at the end of the day, you only have about 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go until the imbalances come out. I said 15, but 20 minutes to go. It's like if it doesn't go on this push, like it just pushed again and filled, you can see it sort of filled up there just above the $0.50, and it's immediately right back down. So breakout trade is always on a bit of a time limit here for MSTR, and it doesn't look like it wants to give another fill there. Yeah, no, I just took it out one more time. It did break in the money. I'm not scalping it out the whole thing for a 50-cent win. Not going to be worth it. No follow through whatsoever on MSTR. That was so much better the last time. Like the last time it went, and this was like a couple of weeks ago, we got it clean and it went like $4 for us. But MSTR immediately running out of steam on that long trade. Thought I had so much room to go here, MSTR. You just don't.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with Apple, I kind of feel like.
Well, yeah, I mean, the market will tell you if you're right or if you're wrong, but that's why you don't want to be long for too long. That is for sure. We stay true to what we've been doing here. We called this IBIT play, and IBIT has been huge. So right now, the fact that this is at 59, and again, 1-to-1 risk to reward right now, as Neil just said, you know, you have to have that kind of a target in place or else you get caught, right? So we're going to watch out for that here.
It's dropping now.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. 46, 47. I'm going to get out some more here at 47. Bang. Right there. This is the only trade that we have. 25, 30 cents now in the money right now for our friend and yours, IBIT, right now. So that's a nice one there as Bitcoin continues to go. You're welcome, everybody in the chat for this. I see you guys talking about thank you for trading IBIT and thank you for looking at Bitcoin. You're welcome there. Neil in and out of MSTR there and Apple. I only have IBIT. So that's it. We just got a 55 fill, so that was another fill for us there on IBIT. So let's just review what I've given you so far here today. AMD, boom, now $2, but it doesn't matter. We're out of it. And then DraftKings, nice upside move. We should have maybe stayed in it. Amazon, not doing much, but I do like it. I mean, I think tomorrow this is a great break level, 238. Let's discuss what we're talking about here today in the after hours. So Adara, Neil, and Sharif will be all over these, right? Right at 405. It should be the very first one coming through. Should be Tesla. They're looking for just a small little revenue number of $27.6 billion for the quarter. With an EPS estimate of 75 cents. So we'll see where that comes through right now as Tesla makes a big boy move back there to the upside. So, so far so good, man, as we continue to go. We love Apple. We love our long-term accounts blasting through here as well. We bought some NVIDIA the other day, yesterday at the we bought it at I can't remember the day. I don't even remember what day it is anymore. We bought this name in and around that 119, something like that. It is Wednesday, so thank you for that one, Ramin, as we are, well, you know what? We just get excited, and I apologize for it, man. I mean, you guys saw me take a swing and hits a couple of home runs, honestly. There's IBIT, another huge move. We gave this to you at the break of the high of the day. A very, very simple trade, easy to talk about, in control. We're here, and that's that. Quickly, we did get a super chat. I don't know, we didn't even read this. Thank you, Zolia Gonzalez, your very first one. We want to thank you for that one as we put some dollars up on the board and you put some dollars on the show. So thank you so much for everything as we go, man. We're here every day to put up things like this, man. Neil, this is a 3-to-1 winner right now on IBIT as it continues to go upside. So looks like we picked the right look here instead of Mara or anything like that. IBIT continues to go, man. Play the pure play. There it goes. What's up, Adara?
We do have earnings tonight. Our earnings watch party. Check that out with myself, Sharif, Neil, 4 p.m. Eastern sharp, because Meta, Tesla, and Microsoft are expected to report at 4:05 p.m. We looked at the Tesla earnings graphic here earlier today. from TTV Research, but I made some for the other two Mag 7 names reporting tonight. We have Meta here. I did preview this a little bit earlier, but really just showing the growth in Meta's average revenue per user, or ARPU, which is a huge metric for social media companies, and kind of contextualizing it with various Meta acquisitions. Then there's this one, which I'm really excited about. A look at Microsoft's revenue here, incorporating Microsoft's 4 brand colors, and how it's really grown starting in 2000 and all the way up to 2023 or 2023. Steve Ballmer here named CEO right at the start of the millennia. Then we get Satya Nadella replacing him in 2014. The company reached $1 trillion in market cap for the first time in April 2019, all the way up to their Activision Blizzard acquisition being completed in 2023. So exciting stuff here. Check this out on X at TTV Research, working really hard to create innovative and fun content for you guys every single day on X. Make sure you give that a follow, guys.
I love that timeline in there. And we were talking a little bit about Microsoft. We were filming some things about our trading journey. Well, I was filming today about the trading journey. I was sort of talking about some big deals in the past and how it used to be. You knew the ones that would go through. Larry Ellison was the champion of that. No, just come quickly over here for a second, because someone asked me if I had any swing trades, because MSTR might take some time. I'm only looking at day trades here. I don't own MSTR. I've never owned MSTR. I own Bitcoin. To me, it's just a hodl type situation. It's just a matter of a breakout trade. There was a setup like this on MSTR, very similar a few weeks ago, that was an instant winner, right? So I took it, but it's not going, right? So at the end of the day, you just got to be able to come to my chart for a second. We come to my, thank you, Ram. There we go. But it's not going. I want it to break right away. Could it go tomorrow? Sure, but that has nothing to do with today. Like I can't hold this position overnight, right? So even if MSTR is at 350 tomorrow and I've wicked it out here, that's completely irrelevant. I just don't want it trailing back into VWAP and then all of a sudden I'm punching out because it's 350 and I got to get up to the desk and we have to close our positions at the end of the day. So yeah, it might still be good. And I don't begrudge it anything here. Like if you look at a 15-minute, it's got room. Maybe even like a 350, like it's still holding some higher lows. Like I like the general trend, but it's not a trade that we're going to be able to play one day into the next. That's just not the game. 100%. Danny Naha saying you strictly play options in MSTR and no long-term holds. I think that can be a good way to go. Oftentimes, it tends to give you outsized moves. Today, it's not. Sometimes it does. Today, it's not.
Traders, listen up.
Uh-oh.
First month free right now with eSignal. I can't believe I'm even saying that. What an opportunity for everybody. That's right. We're waiving fees. Trade smarter, not harder. Upgrade to an elite experience. Analyze, strategize, capitalize. The platform, it's everything you need. It's infinite data. It's instant trading. It's lightning fast. It gives you market insights as well. We talk about the scanners all the time. Game-changing charts predict with backtesting. The backtesting is the most incredible backtesting you'll ever find. Potentially. Reliable real-time data as well. Global markets at your fingertips. That's right. It's eSignal. They partnered with us. It's a free month. Make sure you do scan that now. Execute your best trades now. Elevate it. Scan that QR code. Link in descriptions. It's eSignal. And oh boy, is it great. All right. So we only have right now, actually we have 15% left of IBIT. And my stop is right here, right where we got in. Because we ain't taking no losers on IBIT. No, thank you. We've already cashed it out. It's already been a profitable name. We told you now. We add to it now. We were 6-1, Neil. We are now 7-1. What's up, Weed Batman? Right there, 7-1 today. So a big opportunity there for that, and it's been another one, Neil. We've been putting up significant numbers this week. We've been having great ratios of winners to losers. We've been having great ratios of like our losers P&L compared to our winning P&Ls. And I mean, it's just been a great opportunity again to share with everybody how we're trading and going over different levels. Like you just saw Neil there with MSTR and AMD. And it's still is the thing. Apple.
Just for a point, yeah. if I give MSTR more room, then instead of it being a half of what I lose on a good stock, then it would be the entirety of what I make or what I make on a good stock today. That's the problem. And again, it could still go tomorrow. I'm not saying it might not go tomorrow, but not going to hang on to it past that. That's a very specific breakout trade. It's no different from, let's just quickly, it's no different from NVIDIA off of the open. Like if I'm not holding NVIDIA into 128.5 when we're short at 126.5. No, that's not going to be the play. So we always got to try to keep it in the pocket. We got 10 minutes to go till the imbalances come out. Alexander says, let's go DJT. Why? Can't even imagine why. Did you get the super chat? I was going to.
Just
you got
$20.
Zolio.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
Zolio.
you for that.
Remember, after market, it's going to be fast and furious. So we're going to be doing a lot of going over the numbers and then analysis for you. But still, don't hesitate to throw your questions in the chat at us. All three of us will be there, so it'll be well monitored. Hopefully, even better than ever in terms of monitoring questions. And then we'll be all over the earnings live for you guys. So speaking of that, I'm not in anything new. I don't really see Apple setting up anymore. I'm going to get away from MSTR. Tesla just lost VWAP in here, and I only pulled it up now because we're going to talk about earnings. Somebody's selling at $391, $392 on Tesla, it looks like. So worth seeing if it can hold above. I always like these inflection points. Someone's buying off this support in the morning, someone's selling off it in the afternoon, and on Fed, that's going to be a significant level. So watch this one in the aftermarket at the 392 level. If it goes over, I think you've got some blowout. Obviously, if it does like a false break over there, Tesla has been drifting a little bit to the downside. So this is going to be the first one. It's probably the biggest volatile name in terms of earnings. I mean, I'm excited for Meta, no questions asked, but I'm expecting the most volatility out of Tesla.
Yeah, I could see the most volatility out of Meta. I mean, here, let me check out what the implied volatility is on all of these names. So the implied volatility, here, we can actually call up our earnings report right here on the Market Chameleon and go over some of those things again. Yeah, look, guys, I mean, no matter, like you guys were saying there, no matter your trading style, you want to make sure that it's consistent, and that's it, and then you can figure it out from there. Okay, here's the expected moves. Let's just zoom in a little bit here because they're all going to be the top ones. So here we go, man. Microsoft, expected move 4.5. Meta, expected move 7. I can't believe it only moved 4% last time. Tesla, expected move 9. ASML, we already had it. Disappointing on the expectation right there. T-Mobile, what else? Oh man, there's so much today. ServiceNow tonight, expected move right there, 6.5%. IBM expected move 7%. So just get ready. It's going to be a big one coming into the close there tonight with many different names reporting, and you definitely own some of these in your portfolio, 100%. I would say. Okay, so IBIT, nice move there, back up to the upside. Let's see if we get a 35. That's what I'm waiting for. Give it to us right now at 35. Oh, we did not get it. You see, this is the thing about removing and adding liquidity. We missed that fill right there. So that's not a great offer by me there on 35. We maybe should have been a little bit earlier on that one, but okay. There's IBIT right now trying to get back upside. We are stopping out if we break through 20. That's the stop order for me on IBIT. We'll just see if it goes or not, but we're going to stop out on there. That's too bad. We just missed a 35 offer. Come back in and give it to us right now on IBIT. That's what I'm looking for right now. 35 offer, and then we'll offer again. I'll put another one around 40s, see if we can get that. It's just struggling a little bit there with crypto. With only a couple minutes left, let's have a quick look on the imbalance to see if anything got interesting for us. All right, Pfizer's there, Reddit still there. These are all names that we've seen before. Oracle, what has Oracle been doing lately? Still 163, okay, down that 1%, so there's nothing there. Alibaba, you had Alibaba long at one point there, I believe, and that's sort of making new lows right now, so that's kind of...
Oh, by the way, Alibaba, it's too late in the day. I'm not taking... No, we played it, here's Alibaba. It's cratering right now. We played it from 50s into, like, our best out was like 97, 90, and then look at it, it's just falling. This is where it bottomed out twice today. But at 343, it's just a different beast, man. If it gets there at like 320 or a little bit more time for it to bounce, there can be a setup, but I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'm kind of disappointed in Alibaba. I sort of felt that on that strength, if you could have held above 98, that would have looked pretty good. But still, look, it's still great if you're holding this one in the long term in the 70s or 80s. But that's a bit of a disappointment for Alibaba. I don't know what that WIT was. Like this one in here, the 4 million, but I double checked. I don't see it. Well, if I see 4 million on an imbalance locator early, my first thought is whether or not there's going to be something there. It's a 14-cent stock. Throw that one out the window. So forget about this. Maybe care about the bigger names when they pop up. Reddit looks interesting.
Reddit? Nah, forget it. No, I love Reddit. All right. I mean, there it is again, guys.
another one.
So again, we don't have to sit here and justify any of our trades. You can see them right there. Another one just came out. We talked about offering back in now. I mean, look where this 50 period is. Our stop is now where we're in. So we're getting lighter and lighter on IBIT. We still have about 7 or 8% left on this name. I like the stock there. So we'll have to wait for that. SLXN, people want to talk about quickly, so let's go over that. Another mover today, obviously, with over 300 million shares going through. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have any halts on this name, but SLXN, a nice move to the upside, which is kind of strange. There should be some halts here, but I guess not. There it is, nice move up, 340, 350. Looking to take that out. If we zoom back outside a little bit of on SLXN, it looks very, very similar to those DJTs and everything that we keep on saying. Watch.
There is a halt here.
Oh, there is one. You got one now.
It's okay, DGNX is halted to the upside. I see the tap at now $40 on this thing. This is the one that's halted multiple times. It wasn't SNX. This is now 5 or 6. 5 times it's halted. So it should, when did this halt? This should open up in a minute or two. If it halts again after 350, then it won't open till 4 o'clock. But for everyone looking at DGNX, whether Tish is still here, some of the low float runners out there, it looks like it wants to open up. I can't even scale to that because it hasn't gone to $40 today, but it's going to get $40 at the open in less than 1 minute, it looks like. So 350 is coming in a little bit hot and heavy. Still nothing crazy on the early look with the exception of, it's not a huge imbalance on Reddit at 700,000, but you've got to remember that Reddit's only done 4.5 million. So that's a good 15, 16% of the day's volume is the current buy imbalance on Reddit. So it's the most likely guess as to what could have a significant imbalance for me. I'll have eyeballs on that. We'll keep that, I'll keep that DGNX up for you guys just to see what happens. I'll update you on the tap if you happen to be in the long. Well, I mean, whether or not you're in the long or considering where to get it out, no one ever went broke taking profit. Like, the stock was $15 to close yesterday, $13 here earlier on in the session. No one ever went broke taking profit. It does look like it wants to open higher. Be careful for the aftermarket where there's less liquidity than there even is here.
All right, a couple more outs there on IBIT. DraftKings, let's have a quick little check on that one, 42.10, so it does get as high as 42.30s there. DraftKings coming in, another report there. I think Meta will have the biggest move there today. Or Neil thinks Tesla. Sharif, you have any opinions? Microsoft, Meta, or Tesla, the bigger percentage move? Tesla. Okay, so both these guys thinking Tesla. I think Meta there today, just because Meta's at this all-time high. If they say one thing about CapEx, I worry obviously about NVIDIA coming into today as well. NVIDIA's not reporting for a very, very long time. Like, what if Meta does say something about cutting some kind of CapEx? That's going to be bad because then you're going to have hyperscalers like Microsoft, obviously the same day, but then Google coming out next week, Feb 4th. That's going to be a problem then for NVIDIA, as will Amazon. So as some of these big sort of, again, hyperscalers who are the ones what do we mean by hyperscalers is the ones that are buying all these chips to use in sort of these large language models and other applications apparently. NVIDIA, I could see why there's nervous hands today. But again, it's like a tale of two stories, right? Because if NVIDIA comes out and all of a sudden, sorry, not NVIDIA, Meta comes out and that CapEx is huge and they talk about like building Llama and expanding it and buying H1s, Blackwells, all this, then the next thing you know, NVIDIA could see levels that we had visited in the past into the 130, 135, 140 or so. All right, Ramin, we are going to go over to Neil now.
As a matter of fact, we are, because it's back, everybody. The campus program here at Real Trading, where you get a chance to trade real money and gain a real experience, just like it says. You want to trade on a platform just like we do here at P Pro 8? Well, then this is going to be for you. The key thing is it's free. Right? It is a step-by-step process to learning the markets, trading in the markets with a professional platform built for traders, by traders. You'll go into a simulator, which is a great reflection of getting real fills, being able to hone your skills. It is a week-by-week process where you're going to get one-on-one coaching with the same managers that work on this trading floor. Then you get a chance to go live with the ability to become a funded trader in a structured program. This is what everybody wants. You're going to have the opportunity to all the tools that you see us use here, your stop orders, your breakouts, all of that good stuff, all in one spot. The only thing you have to put in is time, everybody. This is something that is going to require your time and effort, but is free, right? So if you're passionate about trading and you are interested, make sure you check, scan the QR code in front of you. You can always just check out realtrading.com/campus. One thing, it is not available in the United States, although maybe someday we can always stream, but not right now. But if you're interested in trading and you're passionate about it, this is definitely for you. With only, how about, we'll go to Darren in a second, but imbalances are going to drop in about 20 seconds. So I'll show you guys the imbalances when they come out live, and then we can throw over to the desk. I want to make sure we get any imbalances that do drop and give this to you live like we always do here. So only about 15 seconds to go. WIT, penny stock, you're not going to care about that. Reddit does have an early look of 700,000. That is significant, at least relatively significant. Pfizer tends to pair off every single time. Ford, pretty cheap stock, usually will pair off, so not too interested in those. Let's see what NVIDIA does. Okay, we got Paramount as a 2.1 million to the sell side. That could be some kind of an action at the close. Cisco 1.2. I'll leave it up, but right now, no biggies there. Amazon's the biggest of the mag at 850,000 to sell. I do remember NVIDIA was not there when I first looked, and sometimes we'll pop it up later, and there it is. NVIDIA just came in at 1.4 million. Kaboom. Always give it like 5 to 10 seconds for some of the NASDAQ stragglers to come in on the imbalance locator, but only 1.4 million there on NVIDIA. We'll keep you guys abreast of any action that you might see, but kind of a nothing burger on those unless you're interested in Paramount. Let's now go to Adaro. Wanted to make sure we got those for you.
For one, I can give you guys the total imbalances that I just heard here, courtesy of Financial Juice. Market, I'm seeing 200 million to sell. NASDAQ, 500 million to sell. Meg 7, 363 million to sell. So sell's a little bit heavier here on the NASDAQ. I did not hear the exact Dow number, but it was a sell, and I believe it was under 100 million, so nothing super significant there. Now, here, I want to show this graphic with regards to potential expected news for Meg 7's names. We posted this here on TTV Research. Check that out. This is the earnings history of Tesla over the last 8 quarters. And what I think is significant is that we have had at least a 9% drop or 9% up day on every day one return over the last 8 quarters. So I think that lends itself to a probably larger expected move than some of these other Meg 7's names. Currently, from what I'm seeing here, the implied move for Tesla is 9.6%, Meta's is 7.4%, Microsoft's is 4.5%. So both history and the current implied move suggest maybe a larger move for Tesla than some of its Meg 7 peers reporting tonight, guys.
Okay, so I'm corrected. WIT is not technically a penny stock. It's a small cap $3 name.
How dare you?
Yeah, no, it is what it is. I will tend to group these things together, but either way, it's a nothing burger on the imbalances unless you count that 1 million on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is falling a little bit here on that, but nothing gigantic. There was not really much of a trade. If it was 3 or 4, maybe even bigger, you might take a shot at it. Shredman, Tesla, 9%. Is what they say, just because it's the implied move. We like to look for those levels, like 9% in either direction is key price levels, especially at the on the close when the earnings drop, and we'll be involved in those live and showing to you real time. Won't be actively trading it, but certainly you're going to see the movement in real time here on Tesla. I think Tesla and Meta, those are the ones I'm the most interested in, obviously. But Microsoft and Meta, you do care, as Sean said, about that spend. Like, what is that CapEx spend? I just heard Sharif said Alphabet, no Alphabet. Alphabet just dropped $1. I didn't see it on the locator, but Alphabet falling and now going red on the day when it looked so good most of the day here. Boo, Alphabet, boo.
Yeah, another piece. I'm kind of jealous. I'm not. It's not my turn today for the recap show. We'll be doing it tomorrow. It should be a very, very big show as we've bringing in the big guns. We've hired the big guns. Right? Not that Neil. I mean, it's great with each one of us. But we've got Sharif today coming through. We've got Adara coming through. We've got Neil coming through. We've got bodies on the flow. We'll wait to see. Get those bodies on the flow. All right. So IBIT, we took some out there at 45. Sorry, right there. Now we're going to stop out if this does break below where we're in, and we're in right now. So get ready for this to drop through right now. Just have 5% left. Wow. So we're going to wait to see what does happen right now with IBIT to the downside. Potentially, we're going to stop out of that trade. Again, thanks everybody for watching. I mean, it's been obviously a big day. Let me just show you right here how many people are watching and what's going on right now. 1.2K. Thank you so much for all of the likes. Now, you will not have to switch feeds at all. At 4 o'clock, coming right away at 4 o'clock should be Tesla, followed by Meta. They're all like 4:05, 4:10. They're all coming back real quick. Thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for being here with us every day. So just come back tomorrow, regardless of the Fed, man. We're doing this all the time. Like there's Bitcoin, good trading again. We're going to offer out some 37s there, that's fine, although it just rips up to 40s. So those have been some decent opportunities there for BTC with only 5 minutes left until the imbalances potentially, well, 1 minute until the imbalances flip, but 5 minutes until the market is over. We are getting a little bit of an NVIDIA bump up right here. Was NVIDIA a sell or a buy? Because, okay.
Small sell.
Small sell, so maybe it's about to turn over right now. Nice bump up right there on NVIDIA. I don't see it. I see Intel, yeah. So watch out for a bumped up trade here, potentially coming on NVIDIA right now. If we get a buy, there it is. So it's still a sell. I'll highlight it right here, see if anything changes. So with only 10 seconds left, if this turns into a buy, this thing's gonna rip. So we'll have to wait to see what happens right now with NVDA. IBIT still a buy, so we're in that. We just got a piece out. You just saw me get that piece out at 37s. We're gonna see what happens right now. 3, 2, and 1. NVIDIA does flip over to a buy.
There it goes.
There she goes. Bye-bye for that, and bye-bye for IBIT as well. Nice trading, man. Nice trading into the close. Again, just talking about it, and it was a good one. Let's see what happens now with IBIT there into the close to wrap it up, man. Great opportunities with AMD and a great opportunity with DraftKings as well into the close. But it was really IBIT that held the fort in the last half hour, basically. So good trade there.
Bitcoin looking real strong.
Yeah, I love it, man. Great opportunity.
And someone asked how Mars is doing. Not good, relatively speaking. It was the same thing as MSTR. There wasn't a follow through on the, what's the word I like to use? The ancillary names adjacent to Bitcoin. Now I'm just using school words for the sake of it because I was made fun of it. That stock, okay, this might halt again. If DGNX halts again, you have to wait till the aftermarket. It just went to $50. So for everyone that was asking about this stock, it reopened. It's now pressing. It's at the halt band as we speak at 49.18 and is very likely to halt in the next few seconds. It will not open till 4 o'clock. I'm pretty sure, I've never seen one in the last 4 minutes, but 4 o'clock when you halt in the last 10 minutes is the time that you're supposed to jump back in. Looks like Apple is going to close at the high of the day. I think Apple's the bull. You know, it took a little bit of a day off today, but it's still looking like an absolute powerhouse to the upside. I think we might get that breakout tomorrow at 240 on Apple. There's your 50-period moving average. We've liked the longs, kind of tried to stay long the last couple of days. I tried one short on Apple and was down. But I think we get this 240 breakout, maybe 240.20 tomorrow. Unless it's gapped over, I'm pretty sure that's going to be on the note tomorrow. But you never know. We could sit down tomorrow and Apple's at $242 because Meta blew it out and Tesla blew it out and Microsoft blew it out, and this thing is already through that level. So you can't know until we get there. But I'm probably not thinking short on Apple, I can tell you that much.
Thanks, Marty. You're welcome, man. I mean, I often talk about that. You've seen me make many plays, obviously, on the imbalance locator, and that was a good one there. He gets crushed that play again, Marty. I'm assuming that you mean the imbalance locator, as you're always commenting on that. And we'll welcome a new member. Welcome, Mike. Anybody can be a member for $5. Help support the show. So, okay, yeah, what a good day today. We'll go 7-1, wrap that thing up with a bow, and then just move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully tomorrow. I don't know if we can get better, but we'll definitely be there. It should be bigger tomorrow because we are going to have Tesla coming through and Meta coming through. All right, Neil, get up there with only 2 minutes to go. We will have Adara ringing the bell. All right, so here's Tesla. Right into that area that we thought could be a buy zone, right into this, sort of where we were yesterday, some of these lows. Sorry, no, down in here, what am I talking about? 385, 386. So we got into there. We'll see where it can go with only 2 minutes left right now.
I'm going to head on to the desk.
Yeah, exactly. Get out of here.
Good trading, great day. It's going to be a wild one.
Yeah, man, it is. It is going to be a wild one. That is for sure. And it was a great trading day. I mean, again, here today, it'll be one of these. It'll be one of those trophy days. But we don't have many things to complain about other than this trade on Amazon, which was a joke earlier on, where we were able to get in and out of AMZN. Let's just see if there's anything popping here at the close. So Meta, let's have a quick look. With less than a minute left, a minute and a half left right now. Meta, nice bounce here. Nice little move up, $6 on not much. Nice move up for Meta into the close. Meta will close the day green on earnings day. Tesla, where will Tesla close on earnings day? Bad, down 2.25%. Watch out for Tesla today. We have one of my favorites from a long time ago, IBM. This is one of the very first names I ever bought. I remember that as a child, actually, probably a teenager, I guess. That's been really working out the last couple of days. IBM, nice move there, upside. Look at that move into the close for international business machines. All right. Microsoft into the close. Nice move down that 1.16%. Hey, everybody, get ready. We're about to have a watch party that I'm not invited to. It should be a lot of fun here. Into the close, we got Sharif. We've got the cream of the crop with Trader TV Live. We rise to the top, okay? Adara's getting ready to go, ready to ring that bell in only 20 seconds. It's going to be a good one, everybody. So get ready for it. It is Microsoft. It is Tesla. It's IBM. It is something else coming at the end there. So with only now 10 seconds, countdown is ready to rock and roll. We're going to get out of some IBIT with only 3, 2, and now. We are now closed. Thank you, everybody. Without any further ado, if we are ready, thank you to everybody. Bears vs. Bulls, Fabian, Ramin, the whole crew here. Thanks, Brendo. Thanks, everybody. Let's go over to the desk. What's up, Fabian? See you, bye.
Welcome, everybody. You got the watch party for earnings. We got Tesla, we've got Meta, we've got Microsoft, we got Sharif and Adara. Hey. We're locked and loaded, ready to go. There are a few other names that are reporting. Hey, Lamb's not a slouch either. We should definitely pay attention to them. You saw what was going on after Fed. The market did rally pretty precipitously there in the close, especially Bitcoin, as you saw with Sean and IBIT. Right now, Tesla is actually trading lower. We're expecting at 405, they're all going to hit 405. Meta, Tesla, Microsoft, Lam. I like Lam. I think they're a good company. Of course, they make the stuff that makes those chips. So we're going to get all fast and furious for you. We're going to do some analysis live for you. We'll see the price action in real time, and we'll guide you through what is the biggest earnings day or one of the two biggest earnings days of the entire quarter.
Guys, it's going to be a huge one. I'm looking here, especially for Tesla. I want to hear what they have to say about the Model 2. I think that this is the one that moves the needle. Elon Musk projected 20 to 30% increase in deliveries, in electric vehicle deliveries this year. How do they do it? Well, they got the new refreshed Model Y. We call it Juniper. Sure, that could move the needle. We got the Model 3, the refreshed one, last year. That didn't move the needle towards the end of the year. So what will? A cheaper $30,000 model used to be 25. Now he's talking 30 post-inflation. So we'll have to see how
Microsoft is tanking here.
Okay, so let's have
I don't have the numbers yet on Microsoft. Microsoft is now down $14 and still falling here. Clearly the numbers have got to be out. Still have not seen anything hit the wire just yet. So I'm seeing reported here, EPS 323. Revenue looks like it beat at 69.7 versus 68.9. Wow. Cloud revenue coming in a little bit light, 40.9 versus 41. I'm not seeing the comparative on that EPS. Looks like the EPS is a beat, though. 3.23 would be a beat. So
sometimes
it looks like
adjusted numbers.
Yeah, there might be adjusted numbers. Certainly we'll have to look for a little bit of a guide here, but you're down now 6% on Microsoft on what so far is top and bottom beats. The only miss, as I said, that cloud revenue was very, very slightly under 41.1 versus 40.9. As we're 0 for 1 right now going to the upside with Microsoft. Now keep in mind, Softy's implied move was only 4.5%. So we've already exceeded the expectations for Microsoft, and this is the one this one's concerned me because they weren't able to monetize AI. They hadn't been able to get off the schneid. Every one of their peers had been able to get back into a fresh high at some point in the last quarter or so, and they're the only ones that really couldn't. Even whether Google didn't break it out, but Google got there. Amazon got there broke. Meta got there broke. Apple got there pullback. It's Microsoft that's been languishing a little bit. And I think we're seeing a little bit more here. But we haven't really broken down local support. There's still the 410 level to watch. Yeah, like I said, 0 for 1. They came out a little bit early, and they've disappointed.
Neil, and they were predicted by Zacks and a few other rating agencies to be at a higher likelihood of missing expectations. They have what we call here the Zacks rank of 3, which is hold, and basically what they signaled are there lower odds that they actually beat the EPS. So analysts were expecting 6.5 year-over-year earnings growth and 10.8% revenue growth for the quarter. We'll have to juxtapose that in a second. They also plan on spending $80 billion, more than Meta, about $15 to $20 million more than Meta on AI data centers, surpassing the $10 billion that they spent previously. They also expect Q2 revenue. Neil, I know you touched up on that, 68.1 to 69.1. Not sure what they got. What's the situation?
Well, the situation is Tesla's headed to the downside. It's not 405 yet, but Tesla's already down another $12 here. We're down 5 points on Tesla. This one, look, the expected move was 9.5, and last time it was 21. It was 21 previously. So this, I haven't seen the numbers yet. It's entirely possible that someone has fat-fingered this one, and we haven't gotten the report. It's not that big of a move yet on Tesla. It's catching a little bit of a bid at the 380 level. It's around that 50 period on the daily chart as well. But you're already starting to bleed. You saw Microsoft, even with a beat, Microsoft was able to go higher, and Tesla not looking too good as it's continuing to crater. I'm not seeing anything on the wire.
Nothing, Neil. I'm
Sometimes
keeping an eye on it.
you have to give it a couple of beats here, but not looking good so far for Tesla.
No, absolutely not. Dropping into that 375, Neil, but there doesn't seem to be much of a bid right now. Real widespread, 5 1/3, 5 2/3 as it drops back down into 575. This is the look on Tesla's chart right now. If you guys want to have a look over here, we were talking about that before Microsoft dropped their earnings a little prematurely. We're also waiting for robotaxi stuff, guys, and we have the earnings call. I believe they're at 5:30.
Usually, yeah, around 5 or 5:30.
5:30.
Okay, they've missed on EPS.
Tesla?
They've missed on EPS, 66 versus 76.
We're really bleeding
that is
here,
a big miss. And you've missed on revenue. Revenue 2.57 billion versus 2.75. Margins are at 6.3. That's operating margin. Gross margins at 16%. Free cash flows at 2 billion. But that's a top and bottom miss for Tesla. They're not going to like that whatsoever. Maybe Elon can save us on the conference call. Everyone wants to make sure he's focused. But
did you say the revenue was 2.5 or 25.7?
So I've got 2.57.
Because their estimate was 27 billion. So I'm a little confused by this.
I'm having to go to Twitter here because I don't have.
I'm not getting any.
Yeah, because I know Tesla's. I wanted to put that out there because Tesla's revenue estimate was 27 billion. It usually does double-digit revenue as well.
This is disappointing.
So I'm a little bit confused by those numbers.
You're right,
I can't really look across.
You're absolutely right. 27.2 billion.
That source probably moved the decimal place.
Yeah, exactly. $27.2 billion in revenue. They were looking for operating profits, Neil, for more around that level. 2.7 billion with an EPS expected of 75. Guys, we're really bleeding here on Tesla. Down into 365. I was talking about this at 375. Trying to find a bit of a bounce now, trying to move back into that 370 area, but we are now down 7 1/5, Neil.
Yeah, it's exactly right. 227 instead of 2.72 was 27.2. Either way, you've missed that by a good 5%, and this is a market where you're gonna get beaten up when you're missing by that much.
Absolutely.
This is a stock which, like it or not, I don't like it because I own Tesla shares. What up? I don't like it, but this is now underneath major support levels on Tesla. We've lost the 50-period moving average. You've lost the local support here from December underneath 372. This is something that you could easily. It's not crazy to think you could see the 325. Now, remember, the conference call is going to matter here. Maybe we can say a few things that will actually get us a little bit more strength. Just last one for you. Meta, at least Meta's bouncing here. I see Meta already to the downside, but it is bouncing a little bit here off of the initial move. It's Microsoft and Tesla were the disappointing ones. Meta's at least flat for now, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Which is better than I can say for Tesla and Soft.
Absolutely, Neil, and we're expecting all 3 conference calls for all these big boys to start at 5:30. Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla's conference calls will all be at 5:30. For Microsoft, I want to hear about cloud. Azure has been dropping in market share. It's been losing mostly to Google. AWS and Azure have both been declining in their speed and the growth rate, I should say, and Google's has been picking up. So we definitely need to listen out for that. But will their AI spend or will their AI revenue offset what they're losing for cloud? So I'll be listening to that as well. So lots over here, Neil. I'm still not getting anything on my platform on Tesla. There, now we go. So here it is.
Now you're getting more.
Yeah, now I'm getting a lot more. So if you want to come to my screen over here, EPS, 73 pennies, missed the 76 the street was looking for. Sales, 25.70 billion. They missed that 27.25 billion. That is a market miss, Neil, on sales. $2 billion miss right there, and a 3-penny miss on EPS. I wonder if that will be able to be made up with the new coming Model 2. Definitely waiting out for that 530. Elon, better talk about that.
They've got some comments here, and it looks like they're saying Tesla saying FSD to begin launching later this year in parts of the U.S. They're continuing to work on that launch. Big shout out and thank you to Kyle Burdett. We like it when stocks go up, but he's saying let them eat cake. So we appreciate the super chat, Kyle Burdett. Will you ever hope that stocks go up, my good friend? But hey, you can make money in both directions. Let's go on over to the screen. We've got Adara.
We actually have Microsoft being discussed right now in CNBC, just so you guys know. But right now, we're going to take a look here at Meta's ARPU. That's going to be one of the biggest metrics to watch for social media companies, but especially Meta. That's the average revenue per user. And this graphic here for TTV Research really shows how Meta's average revenue per user has grown from single digit in billions here in 2011 all the way to above 40 billion in 2023. So because these aren't just Q4, they're also the annual reports. We'll have to wait and see what Meta gives us here in 2024. But if you want to look at this graphic in a little bit more detail, including some context with acquisitions, check it out on X at TTV Research. That's TTV Research, guys.
Thank you so much there, Adara. All I got to say is lamb. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's so much better when stocks go to the upside. Kyle, not to at you out there. We love all of our reviews, but the lamb is up 7%, just like ASML, the babies that make them, the things that make the chips, they make the machines that make the chips. It's not sexy, but it makes money, and lamb is continuing to make more revenue of 4. I don't have the compare. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like 4 1/3 for the revenue. It was a beat on revenue. It's a beat on EPS, 92 cents versus 88. I haven't seen any guidance for lamb, but 7% move when the market was expecting 7.8. Let's just say they stayed on target, just like the Rebel Alliance did.
And what a profit here, Neil. Net 1.19 billion. I know you're holding that and you're pumping your fist that I couldn't be happier for you, my friend. Lamb Research, what a beat already. 7 1/4 to the upside. Beat on revenue, beat on EPS. The street was looking for 91. They beat that as well. So we'll keep an eye out on this one as it starts to come in. Here we go. Lamb Research, Q2 2025, EPS 92, beating the 88 expected by the street. Sales of 4 1/3, 4.38.
We got
up
more
from 4.31. What do we got, Neil?
Before we get to Adara, IBM International Bodman up 10%, now 11%. Are you kidding me? 3.92 versus 375. They got a beat on sales as well. Top and bottom beats for IBM and a dividend to match. Why not? So you can cry your tears about Tesla and Meta. Well, maybe not Meta and Microsoft, but IBM and Lamb doing a little bit of yeoman's work. Let's go up to the screen. We've got Adara again.
Yeah, sorry. IBM also had a slight beat here for non-GAAP gross margins that I just saw there as well. But we're going to take a look at Microsoft. This graphic here combining the yellow, red, blue, and green of the actual MSFT logo. Again, check us out here. TTV Research providing all of these earnings context you really need to know. We're starting here. This is really just a look at Microsoft's annual revenue. Every year, starting in the new millennium here in 2000, we had Steve Ballmer become CEO. Then we go up to 2014. Satya Nadella replaces him. What's really interesting, too, is you can see the evolution of the company's acquisitions and brands. They first launched Windows Azure, which would then, of course, become their Microsoft Cloud Azure in 2010. Switched the name in 2014. You also hear there's a lot of acquisitions along the way. They acquired Skype in 2011, GitHub here in 2018, LinkedIn 2016, and of course Activision Blizzard pretty recently as well. So lots of context here. Check that out. X at TTV Research, guys.
Here are the numbers for service revenue dropping huge here, 12 1/3. Here's the details. Revenue, 2.866 billion in Q4, representing a 21% year increase in constant currency. Total revenues, 2.97 billion in Q4, representing 21% increase. Even though these are marked increases year over year, it is below what the street was expecting. Let's see what, here, just shy of estimates. They report strong AI demand. Not enough, though, to keep this one afloat. We're down 12.5%. Here's the look. So adjusted earnings of $3.67 a share. Consensus was $3.65. They beat there. Revenue for the quarter, $2.957 billion, compared with the consensus of $2.963. So it's a bit of a miss there. Subscription revenues, $2.866 billion, also slightly below estimates of 2.879, Neil. So a bit of a miss there when it comes with revenue, but they were able to shore up costs. It looks like they beat on EPS.
That's a great look for them, and I'm kind of hoping maybe they can get a bounce like Tesla's trying to bounce right now. So after they digested this on Tesla, and shout out to Yatube37, took $3 on a bounce. Well, Yatube, I'm going to guess you looked at the daily chart, saw the support down in the low 370s, and took a swing at it. But it is coming back in pretty heavily. There was a nice bounce, 65 into 80s. Tesla's pulling right back in. So service now is a bit of a miss. Obviously, we had a big, strong move there for Lam and IBM. Very mixed so far. We're still waiting. I haven't got the numbers and the deets on Meta. That's another big one. But let's go right back over to Adara on the screen one more time.
We actually have here, this is an older TTV research graphic here, but I thought it'd be pretty timely because this is really tracking the net worth gains over the last 10 years of Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, and Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. There's also Jeff Bezos of Amazon in here as well. But I think what's really interesting is you see Elon Musk kind of had a very slow and steady trickle to the upside here until we get to 2021 when his net worth jumps pretty exponentially. And then at that point, actually in 2022, he usurps the net worth of both Bezos and Zuckerberg. By contrast, Zuckerberg's a little bit more rockier to the upside. As of right now, 2025 year to date, when I made this, which was early January, they all had net worths of just above that $200 billion line. And of course, Elon Musk, the world's richest man. So interesting look here, just as you see, 2 of the 3 CEOs here are involved in companies reporting tonight. So I think interesting stuff here when you think about how these larger drops and gains can impact companies' net worths. For example, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang reportedly lost about $20 billion of his net worth when NVIDIA had that drop on Monday. So just something to think about when you really process these large earnings gains or drops. They really can impact the wealth of those CEOs. Again, TTV Research on X.
Thank you very much, Adair. I just want to point out, if you think the stream is lagging and you're looking at the real-time price that we're giving you, just hit the refresh. Sometimes YouTube, it should be like maximum 10 seconds of a lag on YouTube. If it's more than that, then try to hit that refresh button. That should correct the problem. Look, Meta, I don't have any numbers. We don't have any numbers yet for Meta. Meta did dip on sympathy when Microsoft and Tesla came out. Meta's now back to green, and we still don't have any numbers for Meta. Just to refresh here, we are expecting, it's a pretty decent, we're expecting 46.98 on revenue, and EPS is 68. We have not got numbers yet for Meta. We're expecting a move of 7.4%. There was a sympathy drop when Microsoft came out. Now you're right back to essentially flat here on Meta. I just want to circle us back over to what is, it's International Business Machines. I was joking around with maybe they could change the name to International Bodman. That would be nice. But it is holding the highs, up 13% on IBM. And as I said, it gives you a nice little divvy too, so not too bad there. IBM is going to show you guys a daily chart. I don't know, where is it? That's a blue sky setup here on IBM. And you know, we talk about the safe ways, and we did our picks. IBM was one of my picks when we did our 3 on that holiday day, or the half day, or whatever you want to call it. But the key thing here is you want a safer way to be in the long term for quantum in a quality name. Well, to me, your choices are to be in Alphabet or into IBM. And if you already own Alphabet, this is one of those plays. It's not going to do what a D-Wave or a Rigetti would do if there's a breakthrough, but you don't have to worry about it cratering on you. That's what I like about IBM.
And it's not putting all your bucks in or all your eggs in one basket, because IBM does a lot more than quantum. But I was going to say, I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but basically when I think of quantum, I think of IBM. They were one of the first to market with quantum, trying to really boost it. They had the money to back it up. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Definitely IBM is really interesting here, Adair.
I think, too, what's interesting with Google's quantum announcement is the fact that it actually kind of went unnoticed by the market at first. So for people who don't know what I'm talking about, the move for Google, that massive quantum move, happened on Tuesday. On the Monday, midday, it actually was announced. I checked the stock. It did absolutely nothing. So it took a little bit of a time for market to process that move. With that in mind, there could be other plays. I believe Honeywell is additionally a little bit into quantum. There could be some other quantum plays that have a bit later, I guess, of a go time, for example, because the fact that it took us a day to digest Google's announcement is, I think, pretty significant. I think the more we learn about quantum, too, the more people will be on these plays.
As we wait for Meta, Neil, we should probably mention some of the market expectations. I've got it all right here. So Meta is expected, Meta has a higher likelihood, according to Zach's over here, for an earnings surprise, an upside earnings surprise, more than the average. So we'll definitely keep an eye out for Meta. Their EPS estimates rose 15 cents this past week, signaling to you obviously strong investor confidence, expected 29% year-over-year earnings growth and about 17, give or take, of revenue growth. They're also exceeding EPS estimates on average by 11.33%. That is them beating what the street was expecting on average by 11.33. They're also expecting Q4 revenue of around $45 to $48 billion, with Zuck announcing, I think about a week ago or so, that he wants to spend about $60 to $65 billion in CapEx. That's markedly higher than what they spent last year, which was about $40 billion. They're flat right now as we wait, still trading at around 674. This one did, I think, breach all-time highs yesterday. It wasn't quite able, Neil, to breach those highs today, but got awfully close, above 680.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't want it breaking highs before the earnings. Well, look, I own Meta shares and I want them to go higher, but as a trading opportunity, let us get in. Let us fly. Now, obviously, I don't know why we're still waiting on Meta. The expectation was 405, but we'll be locked and loaded to it. When the numbers come out, we'll definitely be there for you. Just another one of a recap for you, because I know a lot of people are here. And hey, Tesla, it's a big deal. We know the earnings call is probably going to be a big deal. We also saw those really, really cool driving themselves off the lots there. The update, but you're now holding a higher low on Tesla.
Yes,
so the things are starting to calm down. They're still down 5%. I do like the fact here that the implied move was 10%. You did get, look, it made the move. There's no question about it. Like it definitely went from like the 390 down into 360, 364. So you did get that move, but you're actually holding a little bit higher. So it is the most volatile, at least for now. And I see everybody talking about it, and I see NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA is actually moving in the aftermarket. Now, it would make sense to me if Meta had come out, reaffirmed even after all of this DeepSeek stuff, that they had actually said they're still spending on that CapEx, but we have nothing from Meta yet, and you're still running higher here in NVIDIA in the aftermarket. Let's go back to Adara.
I think NVIDIA is really interesting. If you do remember that drop we had around 1 p.m. that the market bounced back from pretty quickly. Basically, Bloomberg reported that the Trump administration is trying to crack down on even more on NVIDIA's chip exports and chip controls, specifically with regards to the H200. We also had Howard Lutnick, who is Donald Trump's pick there for Commerce Secretary during his confirmation hearing with the Senate today, saying that he really wants to crack down on AI spend, I guess, within China, making sure that the U.S. remains the strongest AI competitor, and that also includes by beefing up U.S. spending and cutting down on chips that are being sent or arriving there in China. In the meantime, we're going to take a look here at this Tesla graphic, though I showed this a couple times in the show, but I still think it's really interesting. What I found here, that the silver line is revenue growth and the black is day one earnings returns for Tesla over the last 8 quarters. Really, regardless of what the revenue does, whether it's extremely up or extremely down, Tesla will make a large move, usually roughly 10% in either direction. So the point I'm trying to make here is Tesla's extremely volatile. This is not a type of stock where you usually get a less than 10% move either way. So the fact that we do have, as mentioned earlier, about a 5% move right now in Tesla is really significant, because that is not generally how the stock moves. And to recap, the implied move today for TSLA was 9.6%.
That's a really big point there, Darren. And I think on a down day, like for it to be down less than the expected move is probably a decent thing for the bulls, because, hey, if it was going to extend past 10% down, that would be extra terrible. But it's the fact that it's not complete disaster when the market reaction is weakness can be good. This one's for you, Nimrod. We love all of our viewers. We appreciate you all. And Nimrod, you've been sending a bunch of super chats. We love the super chats. All we ever ask, hit that like, hit that subscribe, share, bring this community more together, and let's grow it together, and let's make more money together and trade better together. Wolfspeed beat earnings. I know you took a shot because you mentioned it to us earlier. So here's the shout out to you. Wolfspeed with Wolf. I know this is not a name that most people are going to be in, but Wolfspeed beating 95 versus, they lost 95 versus losing 102. So accustomed to companies that make money, sorry guys. And sales will beat 181 million versus 179. So Wolfspeed is moving. They're only up 5 points, but a good one so far for you, Nimrod.
Microsoft
we're
recovering.
Still waiting on Meta.
Yeah, we are.
It's right back to flat. Microsoft, much like Tesla, only better, they're buying the dip on softy here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great sign. Just like that in the aftermarket, you've now managed to regain the 50 and the 200 period moving averages in succession on Microsoft.
Big moves, Neil, in the aftermarket here. Be careful trading this, guys.
Yes.
The spreads are really wide. It's an expensive name. It's moving dollars at a time as I'm watching it. Microsoft was back almost right back into that 442 area ever so briefly, trying to reclaim that closing print before all hell broke loose and we broke down into 417. Microsoft still down 2% as we await Meta. Meta still trading flat right around that closing print, $675. Let's throw it to Adara at the green screen.
As we assess these Mag 7 earnings, I want to take a look here at this graphic from TTV Research. And really what this assesses is the earnings surprise on some of these Mag 7 names over the last fiscal year. So starting with Q4 2023 and ending with Q3 2024, the most recent quarter prior to this one. And what's interesting here, this is, again, the surprise. So if a name came exactly in line with EPS estimates, it would be 0%. What I think is interesting is Tesla tends to be the one that outperforms or underperforms these EPS estimates the most radically. So we've seen at the bottom here, this summer 2024 number down 20% from the EPS estimates. Then they beat about 20% for the most recent quarter. So Tesla's very volatile. A lot of these other Mag 7 names are pretty stable with regards to more or less coming in line with EPS estimates. But then you have Amazon actually, orange, not performing or not reporting today. They report next Thursday. But AMZN seems to be the name that most consistently has higher than expected earnings per share. So just an interesting graphic here as we continue to assess and reflect on these Mag 7 earnings. Check us out here, TTV Research.
Thank you so much again, Adara. Tesla might go green.
It's ridiculous.
Shereen. What a bounce here on Tesla. You're now above. Now remember, it was down on the day before the close, but you're now above the close. You're above the moving averages. You're above 392. You're ahead into 395. You're absolutely pumping higher here on Tesla. That is what a recovery looks like. I'm not going to say a V shape because that ain't a V shape. We got to give it another name, man. You got to give it another name because that's way too good to just be a regular V shape recovery. You got to love it here. All the Tesla bulls are going to be happy if we can trap some shorts and release some weak hands. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Look, it was a miss.
Yeah.
It wasn't absolutely horrible. We definitely are looking forward to the conference call. Should be at 5 o'clock. But I love that they're getting some dip buyers in here for it to be able to get back to flat and hopefully hold on to green. So you've had Tesla bounce off the lows, come back for us. You've had Microsoft bounce off the lows, come back for us. You've had IBM moonshot to the upside, dragging NVIDIA with it. You've had Lam moonshot, dragging NVIDIA and other chip names with it. What was interesting, and you pointed this out, Sharif,
Yes, sir.
was a sympathy play. Applied Materials bumped 4% on the Lam numbers here. So that one, basically the exact same chart. It's not going to move the same 7.5%, but some sympathy plays dragging the market higher. AMD also making moves in the aftermarket as the chip reports have all been very, very good. Let's go back to Adara.
Yep.
This graphic is a little bit less Mag 7 specific, but I think it's interesting here. This is a look at the percentage of the S&P 500 companies that actually exceeded their quarterly EPS estimates over the last 8 quarters. So starting in Q4 2022 up to the most recent quarter here, Q3 2024. And what you find here generally, and that I think is pretty interesting, is that usually get a little bit of a drop in the amount of companies that beat estimates in the Q4, which is the current quarter that we're in right now. So Q4 2022, only 68% of companies actually beat estimates. Then we get a steady incline until we get to Q4 2023. So this last quarter of the year, which again, we currently are in, most companies are reporting Q4 2024. Q4 seems to be a little bit of a weaker, I guess, quarter for some of these companies in terms of their outperformance of EPS estimates, which I think is a pretty interesting look here for S&P 500 and for a lot of these Mag 7 names in general. Keep that in mind. Q4 can be a little bit of time of underperformance, potentially, for some of these stocks if you look at it historically, guys.
Everybody looking at Tesla here. Now, I know I can't see your screen, Neil, but just by your reaction, I know you're looking at Tesla.
Are you kidding me? You know what? Maybe Meta's late with the results because they're just staring at this Tesla screen. Like, why are we at 407 and now up on the session? But I'm with you, the Corleone family. what is going on with Meta? I'll hit the like on it. Thank you for the super chat. Meta has not reported yet. The only known story I see on Meta aftermarket is they signed an agreement calling for Meta to pay $25 million to settle a suit. Trump signed an agreement with Meta calling for them to pay a $25 million settlement for their suit. We don't actually have any numbers on Meta. I see them climbing. They're relatively flat. Obviously, we'd love to get the numbers out here. Microsoft recovered, but it is Tesla. And yeah, if you think it's moving now, wait till Elon's speaking, because I guarantee it's going to be a banger as well, just in terms of opportunity. I mean, the fact that we're getting this big of a bounce is obviously pretty impressive here with Tesla. So it turns everything around, with the exception of ServiceNow. With these earnings.
Absolutely. Neil, if we can cover this Meta story quite quickly here. President Trump has signed settlement papers that are expected to require Meta platforms to pay roughly $25 million to resolve a 2021 lawsuit Trump brought after the company suspended his accounts following the attacks on the U.S. Capitol last year, according to people familiar with that agreement. Of that $25 million, $22 million will go to a fund for Trump's presidential library, with the rest going to legal fees, etc. That's being reported by the Wall Street Journal. It's not moving Meta, Neil. Well, kind of. Meta's moved up here into 677, now up 0.5%. When we talked last, it was about 675, still very sparsely traded and not reacting in the way that you would expect once a company has reported earnings. So we're definitely out there. We're keeping our eye on Meta. It's at 678, 0.5% here, Neil. I'm still waiting for nothing forthcoming.
$25 million. That is chump change. Tesla's literally doing Tesla's gaining market value of $25 million every 5 seconds or so. Maybe 20 seconds. Maybe 20 seconds. It's moving that much. But 25 seems like nothing for Meta. Like they absolutely print cash. So do what you got to do. But hey, why aren't you reporting? That's what I'd like to know. You know, obviously, you can't help but have a smile if you're looking at Tesla. That was fantastic. If you're looking at all the chip names, the quantum names, IBM's holding this 11% to the upside. That's incredibly impressive. You've got Lam to the upside. Now, I understand ServiceNow is not doing pretty well, but that is one heck of a reversal on Tesla, and it changes the entire dynamic, because usually you think you miss on top and bottom in this market and you're going to get punished. They're buying it up. So the short sellers are getting absolutely wrecked here. Now, let's go back to the desk. Let's go back to the screen with Adara.
One last visual to leave you guys with here that I think is really important is this is the weighting of the NASDAQ 100. And I bring this up because we had 3 of the largest names in the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100 compete today, report today. So I think the fact that we have the 3rd largest, 6th largest, and 7th largest name in the NASDAQ as of when this graphic was made, which is January 10th, they're all reporting today. So if they make these larger moves, the NASDAQ is certainly on watch. Be aware here of the potential volatility tomorrow, especially with Microsoft having a much larger than expected move as of right off the earnings report. So I think these are certainly going to be of note here. This graphic actually contains every logo of every company on the NASDAQ 100. Check it out on X at TTV Research. And yeah, just remember here, I guess the intense weighting of these Mag 7 companies, especially these 3 companies that reported today versus the rest of the NASDAQ, because it's very significant and it's definitely something you're going to want to keep in mind when you look at how the NASDAQ performs tomorrow with 3 of these companies reporting, guys.
Well, I still don't know what's going on. I literally just tweeted out a little bit of a McFly, Meta, what's going on? Where are the numbers here? It is what it is. I'm disappointed here. Obviously, we're having a fun show. Thank you so much for everybody. As always, it's great in earnings season. We love the aftermarket show, but I'm really disappointed that we didn't get Meta numbers out. So it's still flat. Look, I'm gonna pull up morbidly. I got to look at Tesla again here, because Tesla is Tesla, and it is holding $400, and it is glorious. Kyle, let us all eat. And you know what? When people say let them eat cake, what is wrong with Cal? I'm going to eat all of that cake. I understand what the saying is, but I'm fine with that. But Meta is certainly taking care of some short-term shorts as we speak. So unfortunately, we haven't got those Meta numbers. It would be a heck of a lot more interesting. I don't know when they're going to report. I've been checking Twitter. I've been checking our news sources.
We can do.
Everyone is basically asking the same question. They generally report on time at 4:05 or around 4:05. and we've gotten absolutely nothing just yet.
And usually we get them in increments of 5 minutes, 6:05, 6:10, 6:15. So right now we're at 6:33. We'll see what happens at 6:35. Sorry, 4:33, 4:35. We'll wait and see exactly what happens when the clock hits the 5 there. But still nothing really doing on my end. But I want to show you Microsoft here because Microsoft got a nice big bounce off that. I believe we dropped down to about 418. Coming into a technical level that we were trading at before earnings. And then right into that level we reject. So support flips to resistance at that point, trying to maintain that $434 area. But now down again, Neil. 2.78%. Let's keep an eye on Tesla as Tesla looks to continue to defend that $400 area. What a move off the bottom there, 365. Now we boomed all the way up into 407, trying to trade at 403 right now. People are taking the opportunity, or so it seems, in the aftermarket to buy the dip on Tesla, theorizing that sales or the report will coming in better than expected, or looking to the long term and saying, hey, when do I see Tesla at 365 again? We'll have to wait and see. 5:30, guys. We're expecting that conference call. All is on the table. We know how Elon Musk does with these conference calls. He's very straightforward. He takes his time to explain. He doesn't usually shy away from questions by reporters. I'm sure he's going to be asked about the Model 2. He'll be asked about autonomous driving. He'll be asked about the expansion of solar and their battery capacity there, Neil. Everything is on the table with these earnings calls. We'll have to wait and find out.
Yeah, and certainly it's going to be, I think, probably the most interesting earnings call. Look, for Microsoft, you do want to hear the right things with regards to Azure and sort of the slowing growth that they've had in that respect. But for the most part, there's probably more at stake, as you were saying there, with Tesla and hearing what Elon Musk has to say. And I do expect you're going to get full Elon on this call.
Absolutely.
Because everyone wants to see that he's in charge, of course, with everything that's going on politically. So obviously, look, you're seeing this move to the upside in all the quantum and the chip names. NVIDIA is going to hold these highs. And it's looking very impressive. Remember, this is just a sympathy play on NVIDIA. Like, they did not report today. They're just going up because IBM was a blowout, because Lam was a blowout. ASML yesterday was confirming that you're still getting that growth. When all of the makers, when all of the users and when all of the machine makers, when they're still having strength, then NVIDIA is going to get that bounce to the upside. But
NVIDIA is above the opening print.
I know NVIDIA is well above. It's now trading higher, but we're still sitting here waiting for Meta. I don't know what's going on here. They just still have yet to report. Well, the good news is it's back to the upside. Oftentimes, if you see a delayed report or they're usually on time and we don't get the numbers, I'd have some fears that maybe the stock would start dropping. People speculate there might be something going on, but it's holding steady and there really aren't any issues with the stock price. It's right back to where we close, which I think is a good thing. But every minute that they don't report when they're now 30 minutes late, you get a little bit of cause of concern. Maybe Zuck is just in awe of what Elon and the movement in Tesla stock. I can't imagine that's what it's going to be. Are we out?
But I want to mention something as well because I don't think so. We're still at 679, Neil. I'm looking at the news source. I don't think it's moving quite aggressively enough for that to be the earnings response. But what I wanted to talk about was I wanted to hear anything Zuck had to say on the conference call about a possible TikTok ban. We know how much advertising in dollars obviously go into TikTok. That stands to really move a majority of that to the Meta platforms, whether Facebook or Instagram. So I wanted to hear what he has to say with respect to that because, well, even if we don't get an all-out ban, Neil, and we have the divestment of some of the assets, I think it still hurts the platform. Without that algorithm, Neil, it is not the same thing. 100%. Meta stands to benefit from that. So I'm sure he'll be wanting to comment on that, cautious as he may be, because these are not obviously concrete things, they're not done deals, and still everything up in the air.
Well, it's like you said, I think that's why they're at highs. Yeah. I think this is why Meta's at the high because they don't care. It's like it doesn't make a difference. This is going to benefit them one way or the other because you're not going to have the algorithm. So you're going to get more people on Insta. You're going to get more people. Look, and I think this benefits Google as well. So I don't think you want to sleep on them. Meta's the king of advertising. Advertising is now a new world, and Meta is the king of that world. And I think you got to be involved. Well, if you like money, I think you got to be involved. But you start to wonder.
Agree.
You start to wonder, could they be holding this for an announcement? Like, could there be something specifically that they're holding on to?
You know what I'm wondering?
hoping that could be the case, that there is something that's going to surprise us.
Sure.
And they're backing off of this, but it's getting a little long here, and there's no indication of an update.
No.
So at some point, I think we're going to have to wrap this one up.
But
soon.
we're creeping up, Neil. Like
It's
we were
starting to
talking
go.
about 675. Now we're inkling in to that 680. The high of the day, guys, on Meta 681.05. We're about 678 and change there. I just got a big move down to 675. So this could be a response to it. We're down from 678 into 675. I don't have anything here still on mine, but there was a bit of a move there on Meta. Now it could be a liquidity move in the aftermarket. The bid and the ask are light, so sometimes you get these outsized moves when nothing really has happened. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything still on my news blotter. Definitely keeping an eye there. I'm getting this headline though. I'm not sure what this is. Group of American investors vying to buy TikTok with more support from Mr. Beast has secured more than $20 billion, reports Bloomberg. I saw the OG Darwin throw that in there. I actually looked for it, Darwin, to see exactly where you got that from. That just came on my blotter right now. $20 billion the offer being reported by Bloomberg,
Okay.
Neil. I'm not really sure how that's affecting Meta right now as it's dropping back down into 674. This could just be aftermarket price action.
Yeah, and look, if they don't report, we're going to have to wrap it up. But I got to show you, Canada, everybody, because Celestica did a report up 24%. A few people were asking, but I threw the details in the chat. Celestica is an absolute powerhouse. What a good move there for them. But as we said, you never know. It's live. We can't make them report. I think this could mean a little bit more excitement tomorrow. If you've been enjoying this show, believe me, it only gets better and better every single day because it still have earnings tomorrow with Apple after the bell. You've got Intel after the bell. At some point, there will be Meta. We get to trade tomorrow, of course, all of these post-earnings names. But hey, there's something we like to do around here.
What is that?
And it is the roll call, everybody.
Oh, I like
And
that.
if you've never been involved in the roll call, Dara, you.
Oh, I think we just got a big move down here.
Okay,
we're
so
down
it
to
might be
655, Neil.
Yeah,
here
now
it is.
they're out. They're out.
Yeah.
They waited until we started to wrap it up. Oh, no, don't go down, Meta. For all this, you're going to be heading to the downside. We do have their numbers here. I'll let you call it the numbers, but Meta down 3 points.
All right, guys, full year, total expenses 114 to 119 billion. Revenue, Q1 revenue. Ooh. There it is right there, as well as full year. We got the revenues right there. It's not coming in as clear as I would like it. EPS, about $8.02. Have no comp there. We'll keep tabs on that. Fourth quarter revenue. Does this one give it to me a bit clearer? Let's have a look over here. Bring this one in. Yeah, it's just not tabulating in the right way, guys. So it's kind of hard to read here, Neil. CapEx, 60 to 65 billion. They maintain that outlook. Margins, operating margins still at 48%. That's for Q4. This is really dropping here, Neil. So it looks like a bit of a miss.
Here. I mean, but they've beaten on the top and bottom.
Yep.
So it's
3.35 billion.
It's the guide. It's the guide that they're not liking here. So obviously they don't like it. Just by the way, Nvidia holding the highs. At least that's good because you reaffirm the capex, right? So I think that's worth mentioning. Nvidia holds because they reaffirm the capex, but Meta they don't like the guide there. Unfortunately, you got to be kidding me. Like you wait all. Oh, here's the bounce. Here's the bounce. That's what I'm talking about.
This is aftermarket trading.
You waited for all of that, and now you're going to troll us, and you're going to go green.
Now it's taking out highs.
Now Meta's starting to take. Now they're going to start to take out the highs here. Oh, this is what a bull market does. It makes you sweat. They make us wait, and then they pull it back. Look, Meta's all over the place at this point. Wow, don't forget to hit that like and hit that subscribe. This is the action that we love to see. Preferably market go up all the time, but hey, you can make money in either direction.
All right, Neil, let's give them the details on this now. So here are the comps. Okay, so on the left, you'll see the comps are right there with expecting what they were expecting in terms of revenue. Now, they were expecting 45 to 48 billion. They're talking about Q1 revenue now of 39.5 to 41.8. So unless this article that I was reviewing is wrong about 45 to 48, that is a marked miss right there. With respect to daily active users, they continue to do excellent. 3.35 billion. I believe this is daily active users in the last month. That's an excellent amount. There's 8 billion people in the world, Neil. They got 3.35 billion using their platform every day.
which is absolutely impressive. But like I said, it's that guidance. They're at least buying it back up, but that's not a very good guide. There's no way you can't wrap a bow on that. It's not very good guidance in here for Meta, but at least it's a little bit flat. There was a precipitous down move initially. It did drop about $40, actually a little bit more than $40 for sure. Thank you for this last super chat in here. Chen in the chat, Meta didn't leave you time to get that heart attack, and it's back. I like that. It even rhymes there, Chen. So we finally got Medity. I'm glad we did. I know we're going to get into the roll call now. So thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for the record viewership. Of course, if you want to be involved in roll call, you got to be in the chat. I'll read off all the names in there. We're going to give it to. Oh, it's fine. I'll do the roll call. It's all good. Adara is going to throw it to me, so I get the privilege.
Hey.
But remember, you have to be a subscriber to be in the chat. And if you want me to read your name in the chat, then hit the subscribe. How's about now? I got to give a big shout out and a thanks to everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here, Sharif.
Of course, man. This is my
Dara
pleasure.
doing a great job. We've changed the format. I think it's an absolute banger. We're going to keep it, especially during earnings season. I want to thank your partner, of course, as well in crime. The Bash Brothers always doing a great job. Joey Options. My man Sean on the ones and twos. Great job as always. Of course, Adara, thank you. Fabian, Ramin, our entire team here. Brendan, Andre, thank you so much. Bears versus Bulls, the best moderator out there. And of course, every single one of you that is watching right now. We love you, but it's roll call time.
Hey.
So shout out to Masked Crusader. We got Shredman 57, Seth, Celery 2, Jarhead, what up to you, Jarhead, what up? The Philanthropist Baker, Yoko's Lair as well, Ozan, we got Gurab, Matthias, James, we got Video News, Smokey Love, Joseph Birch, the Piper, it's going too fast now, 905, JDW, get Danny Elford, now it's way too fast, Mary S. Lyman, Pineapple Undies is in the house, we've got St. Vincent and Grenada, now I can't even read it so fast, Marcelo in the chat, I can't even catch him, Andrew Chow, I saw Benson in there. I see David Chan. I saw American Prairie Time. I see Silverado Blue. I see Dilwar Singh. I see Sebastian in the chat. Pro Day Trader. Let's go. We've also got Charmene in the chat. I know Charmene. What's up?
Miss Lucia.
Silverado Blue. Miss Lucia in the chat. Brandon Townsend. Victor McDonald. Ghost Rider. And I've run out of breath.
I can take over for a second. I do this on midday, baby. All right.
My goodness. Thank you guys. They're still coming through in here. It's been an absolutely wild one. All I got to say is go Tesla, go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Believe me, we're always just trying to get bigger and better. As I said, I think we got to keep this format where we give you all the goods, even if Meta was a little bit late.
It's okay. Give us more time to talk, more time to look at things in more detail. I think that's fine. Absolutely, Neil. Want to move back up. Just to recap, Meta back down. It's zigging and zagging. This is aftermarket trading, guys. So it breaches that high of the day. Neil, we got up to 685. We're back down to 670. I'll submit to you guys, huge earnings calls, Neil, 5:30. If you guys can spare the time, put those earnings call on, especially if you're invested in the name. I want to know things a bit deeper, especially if you're invested in the company, 5:30 for all three.
I agree with you 100%. The perfect way to wrap it up. And thank you guys, everybody, and great advice from Sharif there. So you know what to do. Get some rest. Because tomorrow, we still got bigger earnings after the bell with Apple and Intel and a whole days of trade for all of these reports that we just saw here today. We're Trader TV Live. We'll see you in the morning. Bye, guys.